refurbishing for the past several years. The upper deck on the one end zone is closed, and they keep trying to make this place, I guess you might call, restore it, George.
I guess that's the word, restore, refurbish, whatever. The field's almost brand new, and it's in excellent condition, and it's artificial turf, which would help Penn State with its speed. I think they are expecting 50,000 people today, Fran, and that's a good crowd for this game.
It really is, and they're going to have to hurry up if they're going to get 50,000. Of course, it's a little early yet, and this is not the best area of Philadelphia to find a place to park your car, so they'll probably be a little slow coming in. This is a team that we've talked about so much, this being Temple, a very, very young team. And it's interesting that we saw Gene Dickerson, Ron Dickerson's wife, just before coming up to the booth, and she echoed the same sentiment. He's going to take his time and not rush into anything.
Well, that's the best way and a smart way of doing it, the solid way to do it, to base it on fundamentals. But, you know, I'm considering myself as a Temple player. This is a fun game for them. They're playing a team that is ranked in the top 3. Some people think might be the best team in the country. They have everything to gain. I just let it all hang out, and who knows what can happen. So I'm sure Joe's telling his kids, listen, let's get the business done as early as we can, because these kids are going to play hard against us.
We've talked in the pregame show and on the talk shows and so on about the fact that some of the Penn State defenders are new in this game. Do you think, George, that by virtue of that his defensive tactic or his defensive approach is going to be a little less complicated than it has been in past games?
No, I think they'll play basically the same. The only two guys that really haven't played over there would be Odom. Oden, if they put him over, they switch him offensive line, or Ostrowski. I think, but no, if you think you're totally outmanned,
okay,
you got to take some chances. You got to come with different schemes that they haven't seen. You got to blitz your linebackers maybe in situations where they don't expect you. In other words, Penn State's going to script the first 25 plays against your tendencies. Do what you didn't do. I mean, do some things that you haven't done before, and hope you get a couple of big plays. Look for some turnovers. But if you're just going to let them, if you're going to do the same things all the time, I'm saying,
Ladies and gentlemen, today's captain for Penn State, number 20, Brett Conway, number 43, Philyaboa Cody, and number 53, Keith Conlon. From the Temple University Owls, number 10, Sean Shea, number 21, Sid Borse, and number 54, Lance Johnstone.
Starting lineups in just a moment, but first let's take this 10-second break for station identification. Here's another great radio station on the Penn State Sports Network, a division of Paxson Sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Penn State.
Well, you hear crowd noise. This is a home game for Temple, but the crowd is welcoming the Penn State Nittany Lions. Blue and white everywhere here at Franklin Field. The toss of the coin has been won by Temple, represented by Sid Morris, Lance Johnstone, and John Shea, and they elected to take the ball. Penn State captains Keith Conlon, Philyaboa Cody, and Brett Conway. Penn State defensively will go with Todd Atkins and Chris Snyder at the ends, Brandon Noble and David Thomas at the tackles. The outside linebackers, Philyaboa Cody and Willie Smith. The corners, Tony Pittman and Brian Miller. The middle linebacker, Brian Gelsheiser. The free safety, Kim Herring, or... well, we'll wait and see who that's going to be. And the hero is Clint Holmes. It could be Cliff Dingle in there. Offensively for Temple, it'll be center Tom Berger, a 265-pounder. The guards are 280-pound Ed Bowen, 290-pound John Summerday. The tackles, 330-pound John Clark and 265-pound Eric Johnson. The tight end is P.J. Cook, a 245-pounder. Henry Burris is the man who leads the attack. He will have Sid Morris in front of him in the I formation, a 225-pound senior fullback. And who will it be at tailback? Either Damon Atwater or Danny Davis. Troy Kersey is the flanker. Now with Temple, of course, in the receiving position, that means one of the co-captains, the special team captains, Brett Conway, will be in to do the kicking for Penn State, and will pick up those kickoff return people for the Temple Owls in just a moment. Well, it's a little ominous here, ominous in the way that we have some black clouds on the horizon, and ominous perhaps because it's going to be an important football game for Penn State. Any way you cut it.
Obviously, they have to play well, win, and look good. But curious selection by Coach Dickerson in taking the ball. I thought he would defer. He's putting a little pressure on his kids right at the start to go against the Penn State defense. Now, he could be calculating, look, they're hurt, right? So maybe we can get something done early. And if they get on the board early, it sure will be, bolster their confidence.
The Temple Owls make their appearance on the field, and the Big Ten officials are right in the middle of the big circle, and the University of Pennsylvania capital P discussing their situation. Penn State will go with Kim Herring, Chino Prater, Ahmad, Collins, Killens, Gioli, Forbes, King, Tate and Miller on the kick cover team, and they're just a little slow getting out. There's a good crowd here. This is probably as good a crowd as we've had or they've had here at Franklin Field in some years.
In a long, long time. Talking about the kickoff team, the last few games, Penn State's kickoff teams and all-around specialty teams have been outstanding. Conway's been kicking the ball in the end zone. That's why I was thinking about, I'm Coach Dickerson. This kid kicks one in the end zone. I got to start with a young team on the 20-yard line against a veteran team. I think if all the Penn State defensive regular was in there, he might not have opted to do that.
Good point. He wants to test those new tackles.
Well, you got new people in there.
And we call them new, but they have seen action. Brandon Noble and David Thomas, both on the green team, or rather the red team, the second team defense, and they've seen some action.
And maybe Mazik will play. I'm not sure. I don't think he'll start him, but we have to wait and see as the game goes on.
Tom Indio and Jeff Frederick are going back into a double safety position for the Temple Owls. They will be receiving to our left as Tom Indio asks the crowd to respond. And moving left to right will be the Owls, and here come the Penn State defenders with Brett Conway teeing the ball up on the 35-yard line, moving from right to left. Just underway here at Franklin Field. In case you missed it, Temple did win the toss and opted to take the football for two purposes, as George has alluded. One, to keep it away from the Penn State offense as soon as possible, and secondly, to put some pressure, they would hope, on the Penn State defense. There go the Rover boys, Brian King and Brian Miller, who tear downfield to cover these kicks.
They do that to foul up the blocking assignments, because you don't know exactly what lanes they're going to be coming in.
All right, Jeff Frederick on the near side. Tom Indio on the far side. Frederick just a sophomore, Indio a freshman. It's a high kick that's not going to go very deep. Indio at the 9. He's at the 10, the 15, the 20, and is hit very, very hard at the 26-yard line by Kim Herring, who's down under those kicks constantly. 1st and 10 for the Temple Owls at the 26-yard line.
Pretty good field position. Conway didn't get his foot into that one. We've been watching him kick into the end zone. That one didn't go too deep.
All right, Temple offensively now with Berger, Summerday, Bowen, Clark, Johnson, Baxter, and Cook. And let's check the wide receivers. Coming out is Kersey to the right, and Baxter to the opposite side. And they have a slot. That's the tight end to the right. The fullback and the tailback is, would you believe, Juan Gaddy. And Juan Gaddy gets the first carry out across the 35 and out to the 38-yard line before Willie Smith can bring him down. A pretty good chunky yardage on the first scrimmage play.
A nice little play there. They flexed the tight end out. That means they split him out about 5 yards to get the linebacker out there. Penn State moved out the linebacker. They ran a draw play up inside. Good yardage.
Second down and about 3. The ball at the 34-yard line. Once again, it's that split formation. This time, though, the tight end is flexed to the left side, and the backs are offset and split. A deep handoff to Gaddy, once again going wide to the right. He bangs across the 35 and comes close to a third down at the 32.
Ran the exact same play. Only the first one they ran to the right, the first one they went back to the left. and they got good yardage in the first down.
First down at the 33. Todd Atkins made the defensive play for the Penn State Nittany Lions. So we talked about this man Gaddy, who has seen very little action and was a very heralded tailback, and he's seeing his first action for the Owls. On a deep handoff once again, we have flags all over the place, so the play is stopped.
Well, that time on the clock, I think there must have been some movement early on by the offensive line of Temple.
Ball at the 38-yard line where the scrimmage play started. The indication by Penn State players is that the off.
Yeah, it's against, I believe,
It's
against,
against
it's
Temple.
illegal procedure. Yeah.
5-yard penalty. Take it back to the 33, 1st and 15. Temple in its own territory. No score, just underway here at Franklin Field.
When they move that tight end out like that, they figure, well, look, instead of blocking the linebacker, with him in tight, we'll move him out, and the linebacker goes out, you open up a hole. So
right.
First down 15.
Quarterback is Henry Burris, the 6'4", 175-pound sophomore, live kid. Again, the same formation with the tight end flexed to the right. Kersey is split to the right. And Baxter to the left, and the backs are split. Straight back to pass goes Burris. Throws, completes to the tight end at the 35, loses his footing at the 36 before Brian Gelsheiser covers him. He stays in bounds.
excellent coverage on the deep receivers by Penn State, and he dumped it off short to the tight end, who just ran out to the flat for a short gain.
Ball spotted at the 36. It'll be second down and about 12. Temple in his own territory. Just underway. 13:09 left in the first quarter. We're scoreless. And Penn State on the defense to begin with. The draw play has worked effectively, and they went on the pass off the draw play that time and completed for short yardage. Once again, the backs are offset. Morse, the fullback, is back to pass once again. Here's a down and out, complete to the fullback, Sid Morse at the 37-yard line, and Brian Miller wraps him up.
Yep. Coming into the game, Morse is a second leader receiver. He dumps it off, and Penn State's going to give him that. That's just a little short yardage, and good tackle by Brian Miller. You know, when you get a guy that can tackle that deadly and the guy's in front of him, you don't mind if they catch it short once in a while.
3rd and 9, the ball at the 39-yard line. And the first third down conversion attempt.
Let's see if Penn State tries to put a little pressure on this young kid.
All right, they have both wide receivers to the left side this time. The tight end right is flexed.
Here they come.
Here comes Willie Smith. It's a screen. Good call to Gaddy. Gaddy's at the 40, the 45, the 50. He's to the outside. He's at the Penn State 40, the 35, the 30, the 25, and is finally ankled down by Brian Miller and Phil Yeboah Cody at the Penn State 20-yard line.
Give a big plus to Ron Dickerson on that. He guessed they were going to blitz. He had a middle screen to this young back Gaddy. Hit him for long yardage. Almost went all the way. Perfect call under that situation. Smart football.
1st and 10 at the Penn State 17-yard line. They brought Smith a 44-yard gainer. A big call, and Temple is here for real. Smith almost got there, but it was so perfectly called against the defense that Penn State called.
Perfect play, and it was timed out, beautifully.
We're having a little bit of rain coming down, I believe. And here's the pro eye, this time with a wide each way. The tight end is still flexed. Here's a deep handoff to Gaddy. This is the tailback in there, Danny Davis, who's in place of Gaddy and gets to the 9-yard line before he's knocked out. And they're going with a deep handoff, which I guess is a kind of a sprint draw that's gained yardage.
Well, he reads the block. That time Atkins got caught inside. One of the offensive linemen peeled back on him, knocked him down, and there was a big hole there.
All inside the Penn State 10-yard line. No score, but Temple for real is on the move. Kersey and Baxter are split to the left. The tight end right, T.J. Cook, is just a little tighter than he has been. The backs are offset. Morse and Danny Davis. There's a deep handoff to Davis, and he's hit hard at the line of scrimmage. Superb play by Brandon Noble.
He didn't get fooled that time. Hey, they got fooled now. First 3 or 4 plays, they're scripted. They were executed very well. That time Noble came off the block. That's the same play they've been running. That time he tried to break it back over the center, and Noble came off his block. Now here's a big play coming up for the Temple Owls. 3rd and 3.
3rd and 3, a yard loss on the play, and they go 3 splits again. 2 to the left and 1 to the right, which is the tight end. And straight back to pass goes Burris. He's throwing it down and out, and Willie Smith was looking at downfield, but could not hold on to the ball. He broke it up. That ball was underthrown, and it could have been a sprint for Willie Smith.
Willie Smith was looking about a 90 yards interception for a TD. Knocked it down. Temple will go for the field goal. And it's starting to rain, Fran. And the team that gets on the board early when he gets inclement weather has a big advantage.
Okay. We have Richard Maston in to attempt the extra point. John Shea is the set man. Ed Stranix will be the snapper. It's back. It's down. It's kicked. It's good. And with 10:19 remaining in the first quarter, the score is Temple 3, Penn State nothing. Now let's take a timeout. This is the Penn State Sports Network.
The one thing that Penn State has got to do now is get that ball and go right down the field and kind of, calm the Temple people down, because, boy, they're sky high right now.
Richard Maston will kick off to Mike Archie and Kajana Carter. He kicks a big high kick that Carter is going to take at about the 2. He does. He's at the 5. He's at the 10. He's the 15, and is smacked at the 17-yard line and knocked down by an eager group of Owls covering on the downfield cover. And it was Alan Jackson who made the first contact.
Well, he's the only one that got through. Otherwise, everybody else was blocked. Somebody missed an assignment. Put a good lick on Kajana Carter.
Ball spotted at the, let's put it at the 18-yard line. Penn State in its own territory, trailing 3-0. Burris was 3 of 4 for 50 yards in that drive. And Penn State's offense gets a chance to move the ball for the first time today.
And that young back Gaddy looked very good in that first time.
Kerry Collins has him set in an I formation. The tight right end is Kyle Brady. Split left is Ingram. Split right is Scott the flanker. He goes in motion. John Whitman and Kajana Carter in the backfield. There's our version of a draw, and Carter breaks the tackle across the 20 to the 22. Breaking inside was number 43 to make initial contact, and then DeAndre McClurkin finally makes the stop.
Well, what Temple did on that, a little different change-up for them. They play similar defense as Penn State. They took one of the linebackers and they got him down in a 2-point stand off the ball over the center, kind of like a nose tackle, and they went into 3 deep. Get that extra man up to stop the run.
4-yard gain for Kajana on 2nd and 6. The ball at the 22. Penn State in its own territory, trailing 3-0 here early. Now the back split to an offset with Whitman up tighter than Kajana Carter. This time it's Chris Campbell in motion from right to left. Yeah. And Collins is back to pass. Throws incomplete, underthrown, intended for Ingram at the 35-36, but Kerry slipped going out.
That's what I'm talking about, the weather. See, these things can happen. The rain's coming down. It was an easy play because Ingram was wide open, and he just did a curl in. Would have been an easy completion for the first down. Kerry Collins slipped, and the ball went down into the ground.
Bobby McWilliams was the cover man on that play. And Penn State has a 3rd down. Now, they've been 27 for 43 this year on 3rd down conversions.
Fantastic. But Kerry checked out on that. See, they're in 3 deep now. They're taking a few chances in the secondary. 3rd
and 6 at the 22. Straight drop back by Collins. Has a lot of time. He throws incomplete behind Kyle Brady at the 30-yard line. So Kerry Collins has misfired on his first 2 pass attempts. Yeah, and Penn State will punt.
Yeah, but he got hit. It was almost a sack on that right after he threw it by number 43, Drones. Got in. We haven't seen that too much this year. Not a good series for Penn State. 4th and 6 at the 22. Drones almost got Carter in the backfield on the preceding play, and Joe Juravicius comes in to punt, and Jeff Frederick will be the lone safety. They have 10 men on the line of scrimmage. Are they coming? We'll soon see. They look like it. Now they're backing off. Now 1 guy backs off. 3 guys back off, and Juravicius gets a high spiral that Frederick wants the fair catch. It's a false signal that hits in front of him and rolls across the 45 to the 42-yard line before it's down. Kim Herring, once again, the man downfield. That's a pretty good start for Temple. They marched down the field, put up 3, stopped this explosive Penn State's offense in the first series. They got to be pumped up. 1st and 10 at the 42, and Penn State's 3 downs and out. Don't see that happen very often. Well, he slipped. You see, that's what happens when you have bad weather. That one slip broke the continuity of that drive. 36-yard punt for Juravicius, and Temple's ready to go again with Sid Morris and Juan Gaddy in the backfield. And once again, they go with that 3-split situation with the fullback now going in motion. There's this deep handoff once again to Gaddy. Willie Smith slows him down, and he finally is forced out of bounds at the 45-yard line by Brian Gelsheiser. It'll be a 3-yard gain, 2nd down and 7. A little too much. Brian was a little slow coming up from the inside. Willie Smith took on the blocker real well, and slowed it down, and Brian's got to get there a little quicker from the inside. It was a 3-yard gain. Not a bad play.
All coaches talk about field position, and thus far it's belonged to the Temple Owls. They're leading 3-0 with 8:59 remaining in the first quarter. Penn State has run only 3 offensive plays. Baxter and Kersey go wide to the left. Split end Cook is split to the right. The backs are offset. Morse up front. Juan Gaddy in the back. Henry Morris. Burris calling the signals. Wants to flare it out to Morris. He does at the 45, the 50 in Penn State territory at the 46-yard line for what should be a first down.
Well, you know, one thing I don't understand, that's Morris, the fullback. We said before he catches a lot of balls. He was uncovered that time. Nobody had him. They came with the outside linebacker. Nobody picked him up. They're lucky he only got enough for the first down.
46-yard line is where the ball is spotted. Cliff Dingle, the free safety, finally had to come up and cover that area of the field in the right flat.
And he had to shed a blocker to do it.
Temple believes in what they're doing, and they're doing what they want at the moment. Burris, quick handoff to fullback Morris. Morris gets to the Penn State 49. Good play by Gelsheiser. He smelled it and stops him after a gain of perhaps 2. The ball at the 44-yard line. It'll be second down and 8.
You know, Fran, where Penn State's getting hurt so far, it's so much too early, you know, to say anything. But it's right at those 3 down guys that they're going at that haven't played that much. They're not coming off their blocks too well. And, you know, the kids that play ahead of them are a little quicker, but I think they'll settle down as the game goes on.
Split backfield this time, and a wide receiver each way, and straight back the pass goes Burris. He throws it down and out to the tight end. The tight end is around the corner and knocked down by Clint Holes at the 38-yard line, 37-yard line. Let's see where they spot it.
Well, that time, as I said, that blind back Holes come up just a little slow, but Burris is showing a lot of poise, staying there, quick drop, hit the tight end Cook. Right outside, we call it diagonal, and I think he's got the first down.
He's got a real good spot on that. It's about the 35.5, and it's first down for Temple. Temple has moved with the ball. The first possession, they moved all the way down to the 10-yard line before kicking a field goal, and Haffern taken over at their own 42 on this drive has moved thus far to the 36 in Penn State territory. There's that offset set in the backfield, and there's that fake and a reverse give to Baxter. Baxter's got some running room. He's at the 40. He's at the 35. Inside the 30 to the 28-yard line before Clint Holes can roll him down. Not quite enough for a first down, but they had him rolling the other way.
Excellent play selection, but again, you see there's a backside man that's responsible for contain. He was on the other side of the field chasing the original action, and he's not supposed to do that. Penn State's defense right now better get their heads together. I don't know if it was Atkins or Snyder, number 91, but they got contained. They can't go chasing all over the field.
Second and 3, the ball at Penn State's territory at the 28-yard line. 2 wides to the left side this time. That's the wide side of the field. And Burris on a fake hand gives to Gaddy running straight ahead. Good play by Yaboa Cody. Stopped him at the line of scrimmage. Phil Yaboa Cody really filled the gap that time.
Well, it looked like he read him. He was keying on Gaddy, saw him coming, and he plugged to the inside and stopped him for no gain.
Well, give me a yard or half a yard, whatever. It'll be 3rd and 2, the ball between the 27 and 28-yard line, and it's a big third down play. Juan Gaddy comes out. Danny Davis comes in at the tailback position for the Temple Owls. He's joined with Sid Morse, the fullback. Now they're tight. In fact, they're unbalanced to the left. And they go that side to the fullback, and he gets the first down to the 25-yard line. Willie Smith stopped him, but he got it.
Just good, solid football. They were in what we call a brown set, fullback, tailback, tight end, 2 wideouts, and ran the fullback right up the gut, over the nose tackle, short yardage, but he made it. It was about a yard and a half to go. He got the first down.
Brandon Noble, David Thomas, and Chris Snyder, 3 new down linemen. Not new, they played, but 3 new starting down linemen being tested here in the early go. 25.5-yard line is where the ball is spotted. Temple on the move. 3-0 their lead with 6 minutes remaining to play in the first quarter. Sid Morse, Danny Davis in the backfield. Baxter split right, Kersey split left. Tight end left is P.J. Cook. And there's a fake handoff, play action. He's going to go deep for Baxter. Baxter's on Miller, and Miller covers him well. Incomplete pass.
They put the rush on that side. Burris had to get rid of the ball, and Miller had perfect coverage on him. But you see the way Ron Dickinson is mixing his plays up. Came with that on first down. He knows he can play a little bit on the line of scrimmage with Penn State's defense, so he's pulling out all stops.
Willie Smith almost took the handoff, the fake handoff that time, because he kind of bellied to the tailback, he being Burris, the the quarterback, before he went into his drop for the pass play, and Willie Smith was really across very quickly. Second down and 10, the ball at the 25.5-yard line. Temple leading 3-0 with 5:46 remaining in the first quarter. Burris now taking his time, is rolling to the left, and Dave Thomas almost dragged him down. He throws deep this time, and he's going to get a penalty on an interference call at the 6-yard line on Tony Pittman, and I didn't see it.
Well, Pittman knocked him down inadvertently, but it doesn't make any difference. They're going to call it. Big play for Temple. But again, you notice how the Penn State had contained, let him get outside. They could have had the tackle for a 10-yard loss. Now, if Temple gets into the end zone here, you watch. Penn State's going to have their work cut out for them for the rest of this football game.
Dave Thomas had tremendous penetration, couldn't quite grab the scrambling Henry Burris, and this is a 15-yard penalty, of course, from the line of scrimmage, which will take it down to about the 10-yard line.
It takes it down to a little, I think about it, like say 10.5, but they got enough room to get a first down, another first down, and you know, Pittman had good coverage. He didn't do it on purpose, but that doesn't make any difference whether you intended to do it or not. He knocked him down.
Ball brought back to the line of scrimmage, which is the 25.5, as I've been telling you. And he's going to take it down to the 10.5. And as George says, room for a first down. Now, it looks like to me like they're cheating him.
Okay, they did. He's inside. Now he can't make. He's got to get into the end zone from this point.
No, he's at 13, isn't he?
Oh, he's 13. Yeah, he can make it on a 3. Okay, I was looking at the other one. So he can get a first down.
Half the distance.
So that changes your whole play calling, because you know you got 4 downs to make a first down down here.
I should know that. Half the distance penalty. Temple fans are aroused, and so are the Owls. Cliff Dingle back there calling defensive signals. 4-man rush for Penn State. Split backfield offset. Baxter right, Kersey left split. Sliding to the left, option play to Danny Davis. Danny Davis bangs across the 10-yard line and gets to the 8-yard line before he's knocked down by Brian Gelsheiser.
Well, they haven't shown that. See, that's he put in some new stuff. He's going to try to pull the upset. I'm sure Joe knew he would. You know, you're a lot of talking back and forth that he won't, you know, they'll take it easy. That's a lot of baloney. They pull that one out of the hat. It's an option play. Penn State wasn't ready for it, and they made a good job.
Would you believe Chris Mazik and Eric Clare are now the defensive tackles for Penn State?
Well, you know, I think sooner or later he had to do something.
The ball is on the 7-yard line. It's 2nd down and 4, and they're into a pro set this time of the wide each way. We have a new tight end in there in Kendrick Whitehead, who's split to the left. Sliding to the short side is Burris. Option pitch to Davis. Caught before he can get out of bounds by Chris Mazik at the 8-yard line.
Well,
Willie Smith also.
Yeah, a little different. They put the fullback in motion, try to get another blocker out in front, ran the same option play. That time Penn State was ready. It's a 3rd and 5 situation coming up here. I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to throw for it.
All right, let's see where they spot the ball. They do spot it at the 8. A loss of a yard on the play. 3rd and 5 at the 8-yard line. It was Willie Smith that made that play. Chris Mazik got some penetration. Well, and Joe didn't waste much time getting those guys.
Well, yeah, they put some pressure on. But, you know, Penn State has been vulnerable last week and so far this week with rollouts, losing contain. Let's see if they go out straight drop back.
Straight back to pass goes Burris. 4-man rush. Rose toward the end zone. Incomplete just over the outstretched hands of Mark Baxter. The cover man was Brian Miller.
Now, little by little, Miller's turning into be a really fine defensive halfback. Good coverage. But again, this Burris kid's got a lot of poise, doesn't get rattled. They put a little bit of a rush on. But again, as soon as they made that substitution, you can almost see a little more quickness in that down front of Penn State. Now, they're going for the field goal again.
Rich Maston in once again. John Shea, the holder. 3-0 Temple leads. They're trying to tack right on it with another field goal. The snap is good. The set is good. The kick is up. And it's good. And with the score 6-0 in favor of Temple, there's a break in the action. Now this word from your local station. This is the Penn State Sports Network.
The score, the Temple University Owls 6.
It's a great amount of scoring in the first quarter. Well, it finally stopped against possibly the weakest team on their schedule.
And Penn State's behind for the first time this year. Maston gets a big foot into the ball. Going to be taken at the goal line by Kajana Carter. He's coming up the right side, breaks through into the secondary and across the 21-yard line, 23, and he almost broke it. Robert McWilliams makes the cover tackle for the Temple Owls. 1st and 10, Penn State at its 23-yard line, trailing 6-0.
And I'll tell you, those Temple kids are hitting because he took another good lick. As you said, one man to beat and he would have been gone, but Penn State has not really done anything yet with the football.
Penn State wound up with 4 net yards on its first possession, is now looking at its second possession, and come out with a split back set. John Whitman and Kajana Carter are split. Ingram split end left. Freddie Scott right. Here's a wide sweep to Carter. Carter's in the secondary, out across the 30, the 35, and has the first down at the 36-yard line. A leaping run before Alan Jackson can pin him down.
But as I said before, Fran, Temple is coming here. We tell them there's 2 ways they can approach the game. Play it conservative. They're playing all out. They got 8 men on the line of scrimmage. Penn State's starting to go wide. If you catch them inside, you get a crack. Carter can break a big one. But they're playing man-to-man and the wideouts. And they're hoping Kerry Collins has a bad day.
3:36 remaining in the first quarter. 6-0 Temple leads. Penn State in a pro eye. John Whitman, the up back. And there's a deep handoff to Carter. He has a hole. He's right straight ahead across the 40 to the 42-yard line. Good run. Corey Green came up from the strong safety position to make the tackle for Temple.
Good movement by the offensive line. Now, this is what Joe Paterno would opt to do. He'd like to just keep the ball and run it down their throat. They've been scoring too easily in the first 4 ball games. And, as I say, Temple's giving them, they're challenging them to throw deep.
2nd and 5 at the 41. They're loosening up a little bit now. They have a 4-man down look, but they're going to come with the corner man over on the left side. And here's a sweep to the far side to Carter. Carter turns upfield and turns his way to the 50-yard line for what will be a first down. Power running before Bob McWilliams brings him down.
Well, it's a 5-yard clip right now. He's going 5. He's averaging 8.6 coming in. He's averaging about 6-7 yards per carry. But on a day like today, which is a little slick out, that means you got to maintain possession of the football, and you're taking time off the clock.
Time remaining in the first quarter, 2:45. Score, Temple 6, Penn State nothing. You heard it right. Chris Campbell is the wide receiver to the right. He's the flanker, and Bobby Ingram splits to the left. The backs are split in the backfield, and they go to the fullback, John Whitman, and Whitman is knocked back. Got forward progress, I think, to about the 47-yard line before Deandra McClurkin, the nose guard, stuck one on John Whitman.
Well, he just beat the center. He beat Greeley one-on-one from his nose tackle position and got to Whitman before he could get any steam up. I'm still waiting for the play action and try to get something deep on a deep post pattern because that's what they're giving him.
Penn State Nittany Lion football brought to you by the Pennsylvania Dairy Promotion Program, reminding you to make every tailgate party a real cheese tailgate party. Pro eye for Penn State. Collins, play action, back to pass, looking for Ingram. Throws over the middle, complete to Carter at the 45. He comes back and is hit hard at the 40-yard line and a flag on the play.
Well, I don't know what that could be unless it was blocking from below, but it's against Penn State.
Lance Johnstone made the tackle. And either a blocking below the waist or a clip.
No, it's blocking and pushing from the back. I think it's on Bobby Ingram. It's Ingram or Campbell, obviously. But that negates a good play. And this is what can happen. You start getting penalties and, you get a little sloppy. But, again, it was play action. He dumped it off to the short man, the back coming out, Carter. And they wanted him to run with it, which he did, and did a good job, but there's a clip. Or a blocking below the waist.
The ball proceeded to the almost to the 40-yard line. So they were very close to a first down on the play, but they're going to have a penalty back to where it'll be near midfield, just in Penn State territory at the 49, where it'll be first down and second down and 11 because the infraction occurred after the play.
After the play. They're starting to get a little rhythm here, but as I say, Ron Dickerson's got his kids playing tough, and I was surprised that his cornerbacks are challenging 2 pretty good receivers.
All right, he has them both. He being Coach Paterno has them both on the left side this time, and in motion comes the fullback John Whitman. Back to pass. There's an attempted screen for Carter. It was open, but deflected on a good rush by Tim Terry.
Well, Terry don't do that too much. He was a little casual with that, a little sloppy. He got to get the ball up a little higher. He hits Carter on that touchdown.
He had it.
They had the perfect screen call, as his Temple did earlier in the game, but he got to bat it down. You can't do that. 3rd and 10, 11 now. Big play for Penn State.
3rd down 11 at the 49-yard line. 1:22 remaining in the first quarter, and Penn State has not been held scoreless, nowhere near held scoreless in the first quarter up till now, but they have their work cut out for them. They have a single setback this time, and John Whitman straight back to pass goes Collins. He has a lot of time. Throws over the middle. It's complete to Freddie Scott at the 34-yard line before he's brought down by Alan Jackson, the cornerman, and Green, the strong safety.
Well, they went into a slot that time, spread the defense all over the field, and, you know, these receivers are very good. Scott just found them opening over the middle, and that's what's there. And now, good time to come back with a play-action pass and try to hit somebody deep on a post, because that's what they're getting.
An important third down conversion. They go with a pro eye. Ingram right, Scott left.
There it is.
There's a give to Carter, swinging to the left, trying to get outside. Cannot get there. Is knocked down for a yard loss at the 35-yard line. A superb play by Corey Green, who keeps coming up very quickly from the strong safety position.
Well, the fact that he's that close to the line of scrimmage, Fran, you know, and he's the strong safety, he's almost like a linebacker, and that's what I've been saying. They're playing an 8-man front, one-on-one coverage on a wideout, and on first down is the time to try to go deep or play action.
Yard loss on the play. Second down and 11. Penn State and Temple's 35 with clock ticking away with just 25 seconds remaining in the first quarter and a 6-0 Temple lead. Collins has the back split. There's a reverse give to Bobby Ingram. He has Collins in front of him. Gets a block. He's around the corner at the 30. He's at the 25 and down to the 19-yard line. Fine running after the tackle by Phil Cox by Bobby Ingram.
Well executed, but Bobby Ingram makes that stuff by himself because he almost got nailed, I think, by Singleton in the backfield. One of the linebackers was pretty quick, but he shook off the tackle, turned upfield, almost broke it. But that's what they got to do. They got to get some people up outside or over the middle with some running room because the Owls are jamming the line of scrimmage and taking away the inside running game.
About a 16-yard gain on that play to the 19-yard line. And the clock is going to turn away and end this first quarter. So after the first quarter, the score is Temple 6, Penn State nothing. Now this word from your local station on the Penn State Sports Network. Line and shut out the first quarter. I didn't think it would happen, George.
And the other thing is two things. They haven't run too much at Kyle Brady's side, which usually is one of the biggest part of their running games. I think I look for them to do a little bit more of that. Haven't thrown him the ball at all. In fact, they've been very conservative with the football, opting only to throw when they needed the first down.
Carter's 5 rushes for 29 yards. Collins is 2 for 5 for 25 yards. And Penn State now with a split in the backfield. Back to pass goes Collins. He's got a blitz coming from the blind side, and he's knocked down. It's an incomplete pass. As blowing in there was Corey Green and also Andy Phipps.
Well, that was Green who did it. They brought the strong safety from all the way to the other side of the field. Kerry never saw him. Nobody picked him up. And right now, Temple's making the plays. Penn State's not.
Well, you know, Coach Paterno wasn't sure that this team had gotten its bounce back, as he likes to say. And today it's the offense that looks tired.
Well, they look.
And of course, Temple has something to do with it.
Yeah, well, you know, again, Penn State is their approach to the game is a little different than the earlier games. They're not coming out throwing a lot on first down with play action. I think they'll get around to getting their thing done soon.
All right, there's a quick pop give to the fullback, John Whitman, now still on his feet inside the 20-yard line and gets to about the 12 before Lance Johnstone, the weak side linebacker, makes the stop. He's spotted at the 13-yard line.
I keep saying those fullbacks got to start getting their head up. They hit hard, they get short yardage. Sometimes if you make a little more, if they get their head up. Now, Penn State was fortunate that Kerry didn't fumble that ball because the strong safety Green had a real good shot at him with his back turned.
6-yard gain for John Whitman. 3rd and 4 at the 13-yard line. A big third down play. Mike Archie is now in at the tailback position. Ingram and Scott are still the wide receivers, and there's a fake and a bootleg to the right by Kerry Collins. Throws complete to Brady. Brady into the end zone. Touchdown, Kyle Brady.
I was waiting for sooner or later. They got to get him. But again, good play by Kerry Collins. You see the gamble? They gambled another blitz on the corner, and Collins almost ran into him. Fortunately, he's a big guy. Threw off the tackle and got the ball to big Kyle Brady for the touchdown. That should perk him up a little bit.
Tie ball game at 6 now, and Brett Conway is in to try and untie it.
Play cover 13 yards and the Penn State touchdown.
Phil Collins is the holder. In the short snap like this, it's Bucky Greeley who gets the ball back to Collins. It's there. It's down. It's up. It's good. And with the score of Penn State 7, Temple 6, let's take a timeout. This is the Penn State Sports Network.
The Penn State University Nittany Lions ball into the sunroof of the all-new 1995 Subaru Legacy.
Time they've perked up a little bit. They started off the game with a poor kickoff, gave Temple good field position, got caught on a blitz with a screen. Let's see if they settle down.
Jeff Frederick, Tom Indio back to await the kick by Brett Conway. It's high and deep to the 5-yard line, and it's Frederick coming up the middle, and the little guy is hit in midair by Brad Scioli, and he bounced to the 20-yard line.
Well, you know, talking about Brad Scioli, I thought he might start today, you know, because he's been playing behind Perry quite a bit, and he didn't start. Maybe Joe figures he's a true freshman, and, you know, it's too big of a thing. But I'm anxious to see if this the Penn State defense settles down.
Ball's at the 23-yard line. First and 10, Temple. They're trailing now by 1. They have moved the ball consistently in the first quarter. They start their first series here in the second quarter.
And Mazik and Claire are still in there, Fran.
3 wide receivers. There's a deep handoff to Gaddy. Gaddy is missed and is knocked down at the 21-yard line by Yaboa Cody and Chris Mazik. Ooh, was he hit.
Claire made the play, though. Claire, known for his quickness, got penetration, got his hand on the ball carrier, spun him around. The other guys finished him off. You can see the difference when Mazik and Claire is in there. They're much quicker coming off the ball. Yeah, I know Joe didn't want to play them, but, you know, they got to stop Temple now and say, look, hey, let's stop this nonsense, guys. You know, we're Penn State.
Killens, Tate, Scioli in the defensive alignment for Penn State. Tate replacing Pittman. Scioli replacing Snyder. Long count by Burris, and Burris is going to go deep handoff once again to Gaddy. Gaddy on the draw is going to outrace people to the outside, gets a good block at the corner. He's at the 45, the 40 is knocked out of bounds at the 44-yard line. Speed, Juan Gaddy.
Yeah, but it was a good call. They've run it before, but Yaboa Cody, see, Penn State's not making the play. He was out there as an outside linebacker, and Gaddy came right to him. He got caught inside. The kid used his speed and makes the big first down. Yaboa Cody should make that tackle for no more than 2 or 3 yards.
21-yard scamper for Juan Gaddy, who's by far the leading ground gainer, and it's first and 10, Temple at the Penn State 44.
And that's what Joe said, that Ron Dickerson went out and recruited speed.
Split set in the backfield with Baxter split to the left and Kersey to the right. And there's the snap. Burris is straight back to pass. Four-man rush. Oh, look at the grab of the jersey of Scioli. How could he miss that? Scioli chases and throws. Said he made the catch? I guess he did.
They gave him...
Wow. 2 very interesting calls by the same official. Actually, Scioli's jersey was being torn.
Yeah, they were holding him on that, and it looked to me like he was down and out on the outside on the sideline, but they gave him the catch. Can't take it back. But Scioli had good penetration. At least Burris is getting some heat now.
Second and 6 at the 50-yard line on a completed pass.
Thing is, they're getting field position on, which you don't like to give them.
All right, here comes Temple with those backs in a split now. They're sliding along the line, the option, the pitch to Danny Davis, the tailback. He powers his way across the 45, inside the 45 to the 44-yard line. Terry Killens makes the stop for Penn State, and Temple is on the move.
Well, that's again, we said before, they had not shown the option. They've run it pretty well today. That was well executed. But the other play, those draw plays that they're running to Gaddy, Iowa heard him with it. Rutgers heard him with it. They're just copying what other teams have done against Penn State. And so they have to settle down. The inside linebackers have to read that stuff.
First and 10, the ball at the 43.5-yard line in Penn State territory. Sid Morris and Juan Gaddy are now the setbacks. And back to pass goes Burris. 3-step drop, throws complete to Baxter at the 35-yard line. He's forced out of bounds by Brian Miller.
Again, excellent play. Just a quick turnout. 3-step drop by Burris. Put it right between the numbers. Miller, pretty good coverage. He was one-on-one with him.
8-yard gain, second down and 2. The ball at the 35-yard line, about an 8-yard pickup. The ball is on the far hash mark. Temple has running room left.
Yeah, great play selection. Possibly they keep doing this. Penn State's going to pick one off. They had a shot with Willie Smith. When you get opportunities like that, you can't blow them.
They put their 2 wide receivers to the wide side of the field. A new one in there is Van Johnson, number 6, replacing Kersey. The inside wide is the other wide receiver. Gaddy right straight ahead, power running, right up the gut, across the 30-yard line and to the 28-yard line before Brian Miller can bring him down, and they're beating Penn State to the punch on the line of scrimmage.
They're coming off the ball. They got a little bit of a draw play, but right up over the center, great yardage. They're controlling the line of scrimmage, much to our amazement.
1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. Temple not backing down in this ball game, and certainly showing some offensive power. Gaddy is 44 yards and 7 carries. Back to pass goes Burris. He has good protection, and he's caught in the backfield, and down he goes. And another flag on the play. We may have a hold this time.
You know, that official did not call that, and he's supposed to call that. He had him. There was no way, you know, that quarterback could have gotten away from the tackle. That's supposed to be blown dead.
Eric Clare did it. That's made the stop, I should say. Now let's see what the penalty is.
That's the first sack by Penn State. That's what they have to do. He has too much time to throw. I don't know where the flag is.
It's up around the 37, and it's holding against Temple University.
I'll be honest with you, they've been doing quite a bit of it.
Yeah, I made a editorial observation. I shouldn't have done that, but I
well,
saw.
Well, you call him the way you see him. But he did have a hold, and that particular time, the back judge should have called that play dead, because if another defender come in and finished him off, he would say unnecessary roughness. You're setting the quarterback up to be injured.
They refused the penalty. It's 2nd down and 25. The ball at the 45-yard line. I don't quite understand why the yard marker has 1, but maybe they know something we don't. 2nd and 26.
Here they come.
Here comes Burris on the roll to the left. He's lofting a pass, incomplete, overthrows Baxter. Kersey was on a streak, but Tony Pittman had him covered pretty well, and Holmes had the up man, Baxter.
Yeah, but the pressure. Killings came off the corner and made him throw the ball right now. He checked off to a rollout to try to get away from the pressure. He smelled that Penn State was going to blitz him. Penn State's starting to come after him a little bit now.
Now it is 3rd down and about 26 yards to go. The ball back at the Penn State 44.5-yard line.
And Penn State got it. Must be alert for that screen. Now they got burned on us. They've been getting burned. They got burned badly on the screen and on a draw play.
All right, Penn State with a nickel package in there now. He's taking Mazik out of the front alignment. And they being Temple, with an offset in the backfield, and Burris looking over the defense. In motion goes the fullback. And a draw to Gaddy. Gaddy coming to the outside, but this time Thulia Ball Cody comes up to meet him along with Terry Killens and knock him down at the 42-yard line. Only 3-yard gain. Scioli also in on that play.
Well, that's the way you're supposed to play it. You follow Cody, those linebackers. There's one back in the backfield. They've been hurting you with the draw play. You got one man in the key. He got a few yards, but it was well defensed. Penn State will get the ball back. And I think one of these, sooner or later, Bobby, I said it last week, he came close. Bobby Ingram's going to make a big return.
John Shea is in the punt for Temple. Bobby Ingram is the lone receiver. Penn State has a peel back, and it's a wobbly spiral that is going to hit at the 10 and go out of bounds at about the 7-yard line. Bobby Ingram elected not to come up and catch that ball, thinking it would go on into the end zone. It did not. Play football in double dough. The 2 newest instant games from the Pennsylvania Lottery, and proceeds benefit older Pennsylvanians.
Well, now Penn State's on about its 8-yard line. As you say, I thought he didn't want to fair catch it, and he didn't want to take a chance. He thought it might go in the end zone. Took a Temple's bounce. But let's see if Penn State can drive the length of the field.
Well, he was caught in the middle ground there.
It was a tough call, tough decision to make.
About a 33-yarder for John Shea, who's averaging a little better than 38. As we have a gale coming into our broadcast booth here, and where we open air, you bet your life we're open air. Penn State now with a give to the fullback, John Whitman. Whitman out across the 10 to about the 13-yard line before Tim Terry, defensive end, to make the play.
Came right up the middle with the big fullback. Nice save play deep down in your own Terry. He got about 4 or 5 on it.
Ball spotted up at the 14-yard line, where it will be 2nd down and 5. Penn State in its own territory, leading the ball game 7-6 with 10 minutes left in the first half. Penn State in an I formation in the backfield. The 2 wide receivers are left. There's a pitch to Carter. Carter coming wide. He's at the 15. He's at the 20 and belts it down on a gang tackle by the Temple Owls. A lot of guys in there, including Shendrick Perry.
At 41, Jackson came up, put a big hit. That looked like it was going to be a big one. He got the whole corner collapsed. Took his time. He's trying to find that little crack to cut it back, and Jackson come up, and Perry and Jackson kind of sandwiched him, but he made the first down.
6-yard gain for Kajana Carter. The ball at the 20-yard line. Penn State in its own territory. Has a wide field left and sideline to the right. And Penn State's again in a pro-I formation with Whitman and Kajana Carter. Seeing a lot of action here early. There's a deep fake play action. Throwing deep to Bobby Ingram downfield. Ingram makes the catch at the Temple 30. He's at the 20 and out of bounds at the 15-yard line. What a play.
Great throw. Terry Collins shows he's got a big-time arm because there's a lot. The wind was in his face, but we were waiting for that. You know, they've been trying to play man-to-man on both Scott and Ingram. Nobody else has been able to do it all year. Joe was trying to run the ball down their throat. That time Kerry checked off, took what they gave him, and made the big play. 63-yard pass and into the wind. That was a tough throw, Fran.
Phil Cox finally saved the touchdown. The ball is spotted at the 17-yard line.
Well, what happened? It hung up in the wind a little bit.
That's
because
right.
Bobby Ingram was 5 yards behind the defensive back Cox.
Phil Collins comes in at a wide receiver position to replace Ingram. Carter's on the backfired play. Collins is left naked with the ball and is knocked down before anything can happen.
Smart play by Collins, but that's a broken play. We don't see Penn State. We haven't seen them do that much this year. Somebody missed the signal.
Sean Carden, who's in there at the nose guard, makes the stop. That's the young man who's a transfer from Ohio State. He's a biggie, 280-pounder. Loss in the yard on the play, 2nd and 11 at the 18.
I don't know if they'll do it. Wouldn't be a bad idea to run the same play that they hit Brady, who was wide open for the touchdown, only to do it. You know, well, they still line up to the right. I was going to say the other side. Maybe they're saving it for later.
It's the same formation with Carter a slot back, and here's a reverse give to the short side. Carter at the 15, the 10, and we have a flag, and we're going to have it called back. I think that Chris Campbell got caught.
They're going to call blocking from behind. It's the same guy. That guy is.
He did.
Huh?
Well, we better wait till the call, but you can tell where the flag was thrown. Yes, blocking below the waist is the call.
Well, I'm talking about the official. That's 3 tough calls he's made against Penn State.
See where the infraction occurred, about the 11-yard line.
Well, that's a big play.
It's a real big play. Carter had running room on a short side, kind of reverse, because Carter was coming from the slot left, running to the short side right.
Well, the thing is that we've only had one blocking from below the waist in the first 4 games. Now we got 2, one by Ingram, one by Scott, negating 2 big plays.
2nd down and 20, the ball back at the 26-yard line. And Penn State has Freddie Scott, yes, and Ingram, wide right, and the slot right this time is, again, Kajana Carter.
They're going to throw here.
Straight back to pass goes Collins. Throws over the middle, caught by Scott, touchdown Penn State. A post pattern run by Freddie Scott left to right, can't be any better.
You can't do it any better than that, Fran. They put Carter in the slot, stretch that defense. If you want to play the run that tight and, challenge and take away from the run with guys like Scott and Ingram and Carter coming out of the backfield and a quarterback with Kerry Collins on, you have to throw the football. They did it. They're getting it easy. That play was an easy touchdown after getting that run call back with blocking below the waist. But this is what they can do very well.
Bob McWilliams got beat, but a lot of guys got beat on that post by Freddie Scott. This kid can fly. Brent Conway is trying to put the 14th point on the board for Penn State, and he does just that. And with the score of Penn State 14, Temple 6, there's a break in the action. Now this word from your local station. This is the Penn State Sports Network.
14, and the Temple University Owls 6.
Yes, 92 yards and 6 plays.
Well, again, we get people calling and say, they should do this, they should do that. You take what the defense gives you. They're playing 8 people, blitzing the strong safety, daring them to throw with one-on-one coverage on Ingram and Scott, and two swipes or 2 throws by Kerry Collins, you got 2 touchdowns.
Collins is now 5 for 9 for 127 yards and 2 touchdowns. He had a slow start, but he's picked it up, I'll tell you. Here comes Brett Conway kicking to Frederick and Indio. Once again, it's a high kick that Frederick takes it to 1. Right straight up the middle of the 10. Tries to get to the outside. Nowhere to go. Is knocked down at the 16-yard line. Good coverage by Penn State. Marlon Forbes in there, along with Brian King.
And Joe, Out comes Claire and Mazik. They look okay. I know he wanted to arrest them, but it seems to be a different defense when you have those three kids. You know, sometimes you can start four guys that have played a little bit but have never played together at the same time. You know what I mean? And there's a big difference when you put them in and substitute them while they're playing with some of the kids that are on the first club.
Mark Baxter split to the left. Troy Kersey to the right. The tight end is stretched out just a bit. Here's a sprint draw give to Gaddy. Gaddy's hit at the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Brian Gelsheiser slid to his right and popped him.
Well, at that time we had Mazik and Claire and Snyder. There were four people in there. You know, it was a little bit of Penn State's gang tackling. They're going to make Temple throw the football, and let's see if they can pick one off.
Gerald Filardi is in at middle linebacker. Brad Scioli is in at a defensive end position. Terry Killens and Aaron Collins are the outside linebackers. Straight back to pass goes Burris. He throws it down and out to the left sideline. It's caught by Kersey, but he's forced out of bounds at the 23-yard line as Mark Tate forced him out over there.
Yeah, pretty good catch. He's throwing with the wind. That ball took off a little bit. They're giving him about 4 or 5 yards on that. Tate was there.
It's 3rd down and 4. The ball at the 23-yard line.
They're dangerous passes, though, Fran. He's throwing long passes way out to the flat. If the defensive back steps in front of it, it's a TD.
Chris Snyder and Brad Scioli are the defensive ends now. Snyder, the redshirt freshman, replacing Jeff Perry. And they're into an offset set in the backfield. Kersey right, Brandt, Baxter right. There's a deep handoff to Gaddy. Mazik's got him. Chris Mazik stops him at the 21 for a yard loss. Straight ahead.
Well,
nowhere to go.
They'd run that play, you know. They came in, and Ron Dickens says, we're not going to do a lot, put a few things in. And they ran it well. Penn State wasn't ready for it. They've made an adjustment. And, of course, they got Mazik and Claire in there. Two really quick kids.
They may be coming after Shea, the punter, John Shea. Let's see. Bobby Ingram is the lone safety man. They are coming, but he gets the kick away. Nice high spiral. Ingram has to go way, way back. Takes it at the 32. Makes the first man miss. Comes to the outside. Tries to make a move. We have a clip at the 35-yard line, and he gets to the 40.
Hey, Fran, that was a shoulder block with his head in front. They're calling it blocking from behind again.
Brian King made what he thought was a good block, but they throw the flag.
That's 3 in the first half.
Let's pause for station identification. This is the Penn State Sports Network, a division of Paxson Sports. I understand we've had some difficulty technically. We can tell you the score is 14-6 in favor of Penn State as Penn State culminated a 92-yard 6-play drive with a pass to Freddie Scott to put them up 14-6. We don't know how much you missed, but that's the story right now. And as we get back into action, Penn State has just been penalized again for a block below the waist. And we find Penn State with a 1st and 10 at its 25-yard line.
The 3 blocking below the waist penalties negated 3 good plays by Penn State, and put them deep in a hole, but they were able to get out.
6:36 remaining in the first half, and Penn State still has John Whitman and Kajana Carter in the backfield, and Scott goes in motion from right to left. There's a handoff, fake handoff, a throw over the middle to Kyle Brady, just over his hands. Looked like it might have been catchable.
Oh, he missed him. He might be a little too high. The ball, there's a strong wind in his face, and the ball sailed a little bit. But they hit the big. They faked up in the middle. Brady released to the outside, broke it back to the middle, and he was in full stride. Would have been a nice play.
Incomplete pass brings up 2nd and 10 at the 25. 6.5 minutes remaining in the first half. 14-6. Penn State leading the Temple Owls. The Owls scored first, taking a 6-0 lead on 2 field goals.
Penn State has not used the screen pass yet this game.
Campbell goes in motion from right to left. There's a give to Carter, has a hole up the middle, runs into the stack, almost gets away, and his gang tackle, I don't like to see that. He's bent back.
Yeah.
Again, another slow whistle because they thought he might wiggle loose. Corey Green come up and put a lick on him. Carter's okay. He's back in the huddle.
Well, they're guessing now. They thought that Temple would come with the blitz. They were hoping he'd break it and run right by the linebackers and make a big play out of it.
2-yard gain, 3rd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Penn State in its own territory. On the hash mark near us, and to that short side come both wide receivers, Phil Collins
4 receivers.
Bobby Ingram, and 4 receivers. The lone setback is Whitman. It's a pass play, would you believe? A look, and a out pattern to Bobby Ingram at the 35-yard line before he's forced out of bounds at the 34. They call it incomplete? Or did they?
Well, the fans are booing, so I think they called it that he was out of bounds. He had the first down.
Let's see what they call.
They're bringing it back.
They call an incomplete pass. 4th down.
I think they said he was out of bounds.
Okay.
He stepped out, maybe come back. He caught the ball.
You mean he went out of bounds on the pattern?
Yeah. Might have had a foot on the line. Well, they haven't had a good day so far with the officials, but they have to punt it. Well, it's 4th and 1. I think they're going for it. What's going on out there? Hey.
Well, they moved the ball back a yard. I think Jeff Tarman points out that it was the spot that everybody's complaining about.
Well, Penn
apparently
State's going for it.
For 4th down and 1 at the 35-yard line. They're in tight. Let's see if they can get it straight ahead. They go to Carter. He's got it and more at the 45. He's at the 49-yard line before Johnstone can bring him down along with Alsherman Singleton.
Great block on the corner. Great block on the corner by number 50. Harding did a great job. He almost took that all away, Fran. I think if he cut to the outside, he usually always makes the right cut. He cut back to the inside. I think Penn State's angry right now. Joe Paterno on the sidelines is acting up. And you don't see the Penn State coaches act up that much.
He's pacing, I'll tell you.
Well, you get 4. You know, there's 4 key penalties. Penalties, especially 15-yarders or those type of penalties, will kill your drives.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line, and we have for the first time today Mike Archie and Kajana Carter in the same backfield. And play action, throw down the middle to Brady. He's got it at the 40. He's at the 35, the 30, and down to the 26-yard line. The big tight end ran over a couple of people.
That was the same play that they did before. They found out that he was open, and they came back to it. And I'll tell you, when he gets that football and turns upfield, I mean, Cox, number 33, he's got a headache, I'll tell you.
And Alan Jackson had a nice little meeting with Kyle Brady. Mike Archie and Kajana Carter in the backfield that time. It's a 25-yard gain.
Kind of picking them apart the last couple of series. Even in spite of the penalties, they're picking up and then continuing their drive.
1st and 10 at the 26. Archie is now in. Kajana Carter is out, and John Whitman is back in at fullback. There's a give to Whitman right straight ahead. Look at Whitman run, bowling over tacklers across the 20, inside the 15, and down to the 12-yard, and we have a flag on the play. I think it was Temple offside.
Temple was in the encroaching zone. I'll tell you that. If they call that against Penn State, then that's a really bad call because there were 2 cherry jerseys across the line of scrimmage. But this is good play selection. You hit them. They had a slot formation. They've been using 1 back in the backfield, spread everybody out, and they throw them from it. That time, the linebackers move out. They gave it to the fullback. It was a check off. Got big yardage.
All against Temple. Like offsides penalty is declined by Penn State, of course, as the ball will be spotted at the 12-yard. I'm still having trouble with those yellow lines down there for the field hockey team.
Yeah, well, that's what he got. You start thinking they're one of the markers.
Yep.
But now Penn State's starting to get back in sync a little bit on offense, moving the ball around and hitting different people. First time, I think, or the second time this year, we saw Carter and Archie.
Yard line. Bobby Ingram is the split end right. Freddie Scott is the flanker left. Slot to the right. Outside the right tackle is Archie. Straight ahead to Whitman. Whitman on his feet gets to the 1-yard line. Almost got in. Big pop for the fullback.
Exact same play as they ran before. That's good play selection. You got a big play. Come right back with it. Make them stop it. Don't stop it yourself. That slot formation caused them a lot of trouble because they're bringing the linebackers out. They got Archie in the slot that time, not Carter, who's an excellent pass receiver. So it's base blocking up front. The big fullback is really doing a job.
They said he was down at the 2. I called it the 1. I'm sorry. First and goal at the 2.
You know, you were right. It was on the 1. They always seem to mark us back a yard. That's a home is a call, I guess, but that's the way it looks from here.
Power eye set with Olsemer and Brady in a tight end, and goes Brian Milne to the wingback left. In comes motion to the right. There's a give to the tailback. John Whitman, the fullback, is into the end zone for the touchdown.
It was Whitman, and they had Milne. You know, Milne hasn't played too much so far. I think he'll play in the second half. But he's angry. They're angry out there because that was a late call. He was hit by a yard, and nobody would call it.
Amazing what we're seeing here.
I don't know. And it's
anyway, the score goes 20-6.
Well, they wanted that one before the half. There's 4 minutes left to go before the first half. But the weather is getting dark, and our wind is really picking up. It's going to be difficult to throw the football in the second half.
All right, here goes Brett Conway in to kick out of the hold of Phil Collins to try to add the 21st point for Penn State. The kick is up, and we have flags all over the field, so we'll just hold on here. The kick is good, and let's see against whom the penalty is called. They were called by the back judges, way back under the goalpost, so they saw something from the end zone.
I didn't see it, Fran. I was looking at my chart that time.
It's against Temple, I'm sure. They had 12 men on the field, I believe. And that's what the call will be. So the kick is good, and with 4:04 remaining, it's Penn State 21, Temple 6. This is the Penn State Sports Network.
Point after is successful. The score, the Penn State University Nittany Lions 21 and the Temple University Owls 6. Fans in on the one. Pre-game reception for Work Banquet, West Trip, Cal Foundation, West 4, for Temple University's athletic booster.
8 plays. Now, Penn State seems, their offensively especially, they got their rhythm back. You know, but I'm interested to see if Temple is going to play it very, very conservative. They got 4 minutes to go at the half. Well, will they try to get more points, take a chance of Penn State getting another one?
Illegal substitution, 15-yard penalty. Penn State kicks off from the 50, and he's going to put it right through the uprights. He did. So it's an automatic touchback, 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. A little banging going on there, but nothing unusual. Boy, did he kick that ball.
Yeah, well,
he should have.
That wind is kind of swirling a little bit, you know, and as I say, if it's in your face, it's going to be tough to throw. But now, see, that's what I'm talking about. Now, that deep in the 20, what does he do? Does he try to run the clock out a little bit? Penn State can use his timeouts, get the football back, or does he continue to open up the offense and take a chance for a turnover?
Juan Gaddy, Sid Morris are in the backfield. Jason Collins is in the secondary for Penn State. Back to pass goes Henry Burris. They're going right after him. Snyder with the throw. There's a deep throw downfield, and it's caught by the wide receiver on a superb play by Randy Kanzelder.
Well, he threw the ball behind him, and Dingle was there. But what happened was Pittman, it was Pittman, 4, not 26. He reached back and really made a good catch. It was a lot of concentration. It was not a well-thrown ball.
Randy Kanzelder on a 50-yard pass play. Ran the streak down the left sideline, and it's 1st and 10 Temple at the Penn State 30-yard line. They're not sitting on anything, George.
Yeah, that answered my question.
Gaddy and Morris in the backfield. Henry Burris went for the big hit on the 1st down. Let's see what he does this time. There's a give to Juan Gaddy on the delayed deep handoff, and Mazik has him knocked down as he gets inside the 30 to the 27-yard line. Atkins also in on the stop for Penn State. It'll be 2nd down and 6 yards to go. Long 6, really. Ball at the 27-yard line. Penn State with Snyder and Atkins at the defensive end. Clare and Mazik at the tackles. Collins remains in the strong safety position, replacing Clint Holes. Split set in the backfield. Back to pass goes Burris. 4-man rush Penn State. Throws over the middle behind the tight end. Incomplete. Gelsheiser was back there on the cover.
Pretty good pressure, though, by a 4-man rush. They collapsed the pocket a little bit. He tried to hit the tight end coming across. But number 16, Kanzada's been in there a lot in place of Baxter. Baxter was that big receiver coming into the game. And there's 2 players like Gaddy and Kanzada.
Never heard of
them, and they're doing real well.
Ball spotted once again at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 6 at the 27-yard line. We're playing with 2:56 left. It's 3rd down. And we have the nickel package in the secondary for Penn State. And there's a rollout right by Henry Burris, looking, throwing down to the outside, and it's complete at the 16-yard line. Will be good enough for a 1st down. It's complete to the tight end, P.J. Cook.
Looks like it.
Jason Collins made the play.
Now, they rolled out. They had a little too much time. When you're going to roll out like that, if you're going to be the contain man, you've got to force him to throw the ball. You can't let him stretch it out and pick out his receiver, and that's exactly what happened. And Burris put the ball right on the money for the 1st down. There's scoring position.
Give credit to the right Collins. It's Aaron Collins. We have a number of those. 1st down and 10 at the 16-yard line. Burris on the sprint draw, give to Gaddy. Looking for the corner, has it, gets to the 10-yard line before he's forced out of bounds. Just a sprint out to the outside.
He's got real good speed,
Yeah,
that kid. He's probably about a 4.340. Now, they've run that pretty well to the right side a lot, where they're stretching it out. Penn State's not reacting that well. I'm sure he's got a bootleg off that, and this would be the time to call it.
2nd and 5 at the 10-yard line. And I just had a premonition that this guy Gaddy was going to give us some headaches today. He hasn't played all year, was ineligible last year, academic casualty, and he's a superb player from Easton, Pennsylvania. They got him spread out this time with 2 wides to the right and 1 to the left. Morris the fullback, back to pass goes Burris, has time, throws, incomplete. Good play by Gelsheiser, may have intercepted.
Almost got the interception.
May have intercepted.
Perfect. He come in front of the tight end, Cook. They went to the tight end. He's still getting just a little too much time, but in each succeeding play, Penn State's defense getting closer and closer, forcing him to throw the ball. Could have had the interception.
2:37 remaining in the first half. Penn State leading 21-6. It's 3rd and 5 on the 10-yard line. And Penn State would like to get to the quarterback on this play if he opts to throw the pass. He's got 5 yards for a first down and a lot of time. Let's see what he calls. It's the same set. 2 wides left, 1 wide right. In motion goes a fullback, Morris. He's back on the draw to Gaddy. Gaddy spins away from one tackler and gets what looks like the first down at the 4-yard line. Scioli finally got him.
Well, that's a combination of some pretty good running, but poor anticipation by Penn State. They figured that Penn State would look for the pass. They ran the draw play right up the middle with 2.5 minutes to go. They're certainly in position to get a touchdown here.
1st and goal, the ball just inside the 5-yard line. 2:22 remaining in the first half and the clock running. And Temple has no intent to roll over and say, it's your game, Mr. Nittany Lion. Same formation. Pitch to Gaddy. Caught in the backfield by Willie Smith at the 10-yard line. That's Atkins. Atkins made the play from end and now helps the running back up.
Now, that's anticipation, Fran. They ran that wide play before, but have got the first down. They got 5 yards on it. They come back outside. That time Todd Atkins was not fooled. Got into the backfield and threw him for a nice loss.
2nd and goal, the ball at the 10-yard line now.
Now, I think they're going to run anything, they'll run that draw play again because it's successful, but they almost have to pass it.
2nd down, 1:38 remaining in the first half. Penn State leading 21-6. Temple threatening, and the clock is running. They have the back split this time. I mean, really split, with Danny Davis now in at the tailback position along with Sid Morse, the fullback. Straight back to pass goes Burris, throwing. No, he brought it back, pulls it back, throws in the end zone. Touchdown, Temple!
Well, that's a great play by Burris, but what happened, Atkins had him, all right? Atkins took the pump fake. When he took the pump fake, Burris turned out, got outside and contained, bought himself about another 3 seconds, and picked out the receiver. That's what happens when you let them break contain. Again, sloppy play.
P.J. Cook, the tight end, made the grab. A superb play by Henry Burris. Just superb.
They'll probably go for 2 here.
And that may call timeout in order to talk about doing just that. 1:14 left. It's 21-12.
Well, that's as I said, we saw last week with Lucas. Now, I don't think Burris is as quick as Lucas, but he's pretty quick. Lucas constantly and consistently got outside of contain and made some big plays. That play was defense until he broke contain. When he got outside of contain, Atkins went for the pump fake, jumped up, he ducked underneath him, got outside of contain. The linebacker started to come up, and he got separation from the receiver, who became uncovered, and he zipped it in for the touchdown. Good play by Burris, though.
They are going to go for 2. There's no question about that. 21-12. So they have to close that gap some more.
The importance of that, now if they make the 2 here, they're in the ball game, all right, because they're moving the ball. Penn State starts them for a couple of series, but they're that one big play, the long pass, which was a good reception. They're back in the ball game. They don't make it, it's going to still be a struggle for Temple in the second half.
Okay, they spread with 2 wide receivers right and 1 to the left. The backs are split. Danny Davis is the tailback. Henry Burris with the 2-point conversion attempt goes straight, rolls to the right, looks, throws into the end zone, knocked down by Clint Holes. No good. So the score remains Penn State 21, Temple 12. Now this word on the Penn State Sports Network. Mr. Henry Burris is 11 for 17 for 159 yards, and he's handled himself extremely well, the young sophomore from Oklahoma.
Well, Fran, coming in, they were averaging 228 yards passing per game. So, you know, this is not a fluke.
Richard Masson kicks a high. It's really caught in the wind, and it's going to hit the ground. And Kajana Carter makes a one-handed stab at the 10, gets to the outside, the 15, the 20, the 25, the 30, misses the sidesteps one tackler and makes a great return out of what looks like it might have been disaster.
Well, that always happens, Fran. When the ball hits the ground, the coverage team stops. The ball bounced up, fortunately, to Kajana. He took it up the sidelines. He had one man to beat. But Penn State now can go into their 2-minute drill. They got plenty of time to try to get some more points here at the end of the first half.
Mike McWilliams made the stop, or it might have been a touchdown. First and 10, Penn State at the 33-yard line with 1:05 remaining. Last week, they had 1:07 before halftime and did it. Let's see if they can do it again. Collins not wasting any time, is back to pass. Screen to Carter to the left. He's at the 35, the 40, the 45, the 50. Here he comes to the outside, the 40, the 40, the 35, the 30, and down to the 29-yard line. A little dump screen to the left side to Kajana Carter.
That's the one they tried to hit before. Kajana made a couple of good moves. He's getting as far up the field as he possibly can. Now, no huddle.
Robert McWilliams makes the stop, and Penn State's quickly out in an I formation. And Collins back once again to pass. Looks, dumps it to Carter on the right side. Great catch at the knees. He's at the 35, the 30, the 25, and out of bounds at the 20. No, he didn't get out of bounds. They kept the clock moving.
Well, they got timeout.
Sure. And Penn State does call a timeout.
Well, they got plenty of time. You know, like, see, he lost about, the clock is running. I don't know why they didn't give, they didn't, yeah, stat man here saying it.
We have a man hurt here. Yeah. We have a man hurt at the near sideline, and I believe it's Carter.
Well, he really laid it to that defensive back, but Penn State lost 10 seconds on that particular play.
It is Carter.
Yeah.
So we'll have a timeout here. Keith Conlon over to look at him, and here comes Bobby Ingram over.
He really lowered his shoulder on that and really tried to punish the defensive back.
Dr. Sebastianelli comes out. I don't like the looks of this at all.
Well, he might have got a slight concussion, Fran. That's, you know, usually, when I saw him lower that head like that, he's trying to punish people. But I'm sure it probably will not be back.
His playmates are concerned, too. Yeah. Freddie Scott is over there. Bobby Ingram. Mike Archie.
No, he's up.
He's up. Okay. Attaboy, Kajana. He got his bell rung, I do believe.
That's exactly what happened. He put his head down. Every good ball carrier, you know, gets hit like that. They're going to take him in.
George Salvatore and Dr. Sebastianelli bring him to the near side, really through the Temple bench. He might have fallen on the ball and had the wind knocked out of him. They're working with his right hand. He may have dislocated a finger. Well, what do I know? Here's a pass over the middle. Scott, touchdown!
They can do it when they want to do it. Again, those post patterns with those wide receivers are almost impossible to stop unless you double cover and play inside out, have somebody coming from the inside and have a cornerback on the outside. And that's 3 touchdown passes in the first half, and Collins can make it look easy.
That Freddie Scott runs that post, and you just can't not cover him. Well, it didn't take very long for Penn State to get back on the scoreboard.
Well, I give Kajana Carter a lot of credit. He got most of the yardage on that play from the time he fielded the kickoff. Now, they're taking him off the field. I don't know whether it's his hand.
2-point play for Penn State. Back to pass goes Collins, looks, throws into the end zone just beyond Mike Archie, incomplete. And the score remains Penn State 27, Temple 12. There's a break in the action. Now this word from your local station on the Penn State Sports Network.
But he
started slowly, too.
Yeah, he started. And there's a very, very strong wind blowing and playing tricks with the ball.
Jeff Frederick, Tom Indio, the return man. And Brett Conway kicking from the 35. Kicks a ground ball this time that's taken by an up man. It is across the 30 to the 35-yard line before he's knocked down. And the man to carry the ball was Lambert Watts. 35-yard line is where the ball is. Say, let's pause for station identification. This is the Penn State Sports Network, a division of Paxton Sports.
14 yards on the return. Sets the ball at the 35-yard line for first down 10 for the Owls.
Shino Prater made the stop on Ralph T.L. Mack at the 35-yard line. First down for Temple with 16 seconds remaining, and Penn State leading 27-12.
I think Dickerson will be content to run the clock out here, which he's going to do.
Yeah, he goes to the fullback. First time he's carried today, and Morris has stopped right at the line of scrimmage, no gain. Penn State will watch the clock run out as Eric Clare made that defensive play. And that's the end of the first half. With the score, Penn State 27, Temple 12. Back after this on the Penn State Sports Network.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we remind you that your ticket stub will not re-admit you to Franklin Field if you leave the stadium at halftime. Your ticket stub will not re-admit you to Franklin Field if you leave during the halftime.
The option here in the second half as the toss of the coin was won by Temple, who took the ball, and Penn State is going to take the ball here in the second half. And the deep return men are Kim Herring and Mike Archie. Now, we'll remind you that Kajana Carter was injured late in the first half on a sideline. Looked like a hand, finger, or something. We're kind of spotting, but I get the feeling that if it's one of those painful finger dislocations that we have seen the last of Kajana Carter this afternoon. But we'll wait and see. Richard Maston will kick off for Temple.
He's not on the sidelines, Fran. I scanned the sidelines.
There's a line drive kick on the ground that's bouncing to Mike Archie. He picks it up at the 10. He's at the 15. He's at the 20. He's into the wedge and gets out to the 25 and out to the 29-yard line before he's knocked down by Orrin Marshman. So Penn State has a 1st and 10. Leading in the ball game 27-12 as we get underway here in the second half, and the ball is spotted at the 30. Penn State in its own territory.
And Mike Archie's at tailback. That's one position Penn State has excellent depth at.
Kyle Brady is the tight end. Mike Archie is the tailback, as George said. Kerry Collins, of course, is the quarterback. And the fullback is Brian Milne. We have a temperature change here, a front moving in, I guess is what you're supposed to say about this kind of weather. There's a give to Milne right straight ahead. He pounds to the 34. Runs right over Jeff Hardings as he comes up the right side. Adrian Drone makes the stop for the Temple Owls. Yeah. They're going to spot the ball at the 35-yard line, a 5-yard gain for Brian Milne. It will be 2nd down and 5.
Quick hitter by the big fullback. You know, he can 5-yard you to death. The thing that Penn State wants to do now is to make sure that you hang on to that football, don't turn it over, and put together some good drives.
John Whitman comes in at fullback now, and Kyle Brady is the tight left end, and in motion from that side comes Chris Campbell. A pitch to Archie. Archie cuts upfield. He's a 35 and just ankled down at the 36-yard line. Looks like he might break out of there.
Flag on a play, Fran. Again, I don't know what it is. There's a yellow flag, and Temple pointing at Penn State. They're going to call holding on Penn State or blocking below the waist again. The same official.
Oh, boy. Anyway, the gain was to the 36-yard line. And we're going to have the mark-off against the Nittany Lions back inside the 30-yard line to the 27.
Fran, that's their 5th penalty. They're only over about almost 60 yards now, but they're all big penalties. They're not 5-yard penalties. They're long penalties, and they're the type of a penalty that will really kill your drive.
2nd down and 13 at the 27-yard line, and Penn State has been battling this penalty situation all afternoon and overcoming it, which is a good sign. Archie and Whitman are in an I set in the backfield. Archie is the tailback. Whitman is the fullback. Back to pass. A quick look. A give to Freddie Scott. He dropped the ball at the 35-yard line. Scott started downfield before he had possession.
I think that was Bobby Agram.
That was Bobby Agram,
But when he did that, he did the same thing he did last week, Fran.
On the goal line.
He wanted to go. He had one-on-one. It was a check-off. Try to run before he got the ball. And, Bobby, you got to make sure you got that ball in your hands before you go out and do your thing. Temple's playing very, very similar coverages they had in the first half. Again, on running downs, they're jamming the wide outs, and Kerry checked off and went out to Bobby, but he dropped it.
3rd and 13 at the 27. Let's see if they can get the yardage back. They're going to go on a straight drop back. And Collins is being chased, runs out of the pocket, still coming to the sideline, looking, throws, intercepted at the 35-yard line, and a flag on the play at the same time. A ball Kerry well might have held on to. Corey Green picks it off. And also a penalty flag. The interception at the 35, right in front of the Temple bench, and let's see what the penalty is.
Well, I know it was an interception, but, you know, not too good of a decision by Kerry, but another
pass interference against Penn State. That's interesting.
On an interception, they say he pushed off. I don't know.
Of course, the penalty will be declined, and it's first down Temple at the Penn State 35-yard line.
Well, you know, that's really the first poor thing that the offense has done now in the last 3 or 4 series. And it's up to the defense to get their heads into the ball game. That's where the problem was in the first half.
This crowd, the Temple partisans here, are responding to this team, and understandably so. This young team has played very, very hard and very, very well. Here they come now. They have the possession at the 35-yard line, and Henry Burris brings them out. Sid Morris and Juan Gaddy are in the backfield. Baxter and Kersey are the wide receivers, and straight back to pass goes Burris against a 4-man rush. Throws a curl, complete to the 25-yard line in front of Brian Miller, and the pass is to Kersey. Very close to a first down, depends on the spot.
Just a quick turnaround. Now, Burris has a quick drop. He gets back and gets into that throwing position real quick. Single coverage, was zone. They knew Penn State was going to be in a zone, and it just turned it around. Good throw.
Big John Clark comes over to the sideline. He's 6'7", 330 pounds. And they're going to bring the chains in to check to see if the first down is made. It's very close. First down play from the 35, and the ball is just inside the 25.
And let's give Temple's offensive line some credit. Penn State is not getting to their quarterback.
Looks like they're just short. And that is the case. It'll be second down and footage. The ball will be brought to the hash mark far across the field. And this is one of those, do you go the whole way, George? You going to go for the big play?
Well, I think he will. They're playing very well against a real good team, and they're in the ballgame. But just to get back to that last interception, you see what a big penalty does? Penn State, instead of having a ball up field, maybe with a first down, they're forced to throw on 3rd and 13, and you get the interception.
They got good penetration, did the Owls, on Kerry Collins, and he had a flush out of the pocket. There's a split back set and a wide each way, and they go straight ahead to the fullback Morse, and Morse gets close to what should be the first down. Eric Clare, well, it depends on the spot. Eric Clare made the play for Penn State. First down, Temple at the 24-yard line in Penn State territory. Just underway in the second half with Penn State leading 27-12 on a dark, dark afternoon. The lights have been on here the whole game.
And the rain is starting to beginning again.
Yeah, it's going to be bleak. All right, split set in the backfield. Juan Gaddy is the one setback, and Morse the other. Straight back to pass goes Morris, throws deep down to the right corner. Incomplete. Good play by Brian Miller. He turned around in the nick of time.
Well, you got to feel that. You got to look at the receiver's eyes, but Penn State's cornerbacks are getting turned around. When you have to run with your back to the ball and you don't know where it is, the receiver has a tremendous advantage. If the ball is thrown short, he can come back. You don't know where it is. And if it's a high pass, he has an opportunity to go up and get it. So, fortunately for that time, Miller turned his head just at the right time.
They had sent Mark Baxter on a fly down the right sideline, and he was the only receiver out, and Burris just dropped back and let it fly down towards the pylon in the end zone. All right, it's second down now and 10 at the 24-yard line. And they have the backs split once again and a wide receiver each way. Burris back to pass, throws to the tight end Cook. He's at the 20-yard line, breaks the tackle and gets to the 17-yard line. Hanging on to him was Clint Holes. But Yaboa Cody had to come up and finish him off. Ball comes into the hash mark near side at the 16-yard line.
Good coverage, not so good tackling. Now, they could have dumped him for about 2 less yards, but
3rd and 2 at the 16. Penn State receiving the opening half, second half kickoff rather, was able to move the ball a little bit, got 2 big penalties, and the interception turned it over to Temple, and they're taking advantage of it now in Penn State's territory at the 16-yard line. They're offset in the backfield this time. Straight back to pass goes Burris. He throws an out pattern to Morris, the fullback. He has it at the 10 and is knocked down at the 5.
Well, that time Brian Gelsheiser was right with him coming out of the backfield. Brian, we've seen this happen last week against Rutgers. Went for the interception, missed it. Fullback catches the ball and almost takes it in. He's down on the 5-yard line. First and goal.
Sidney Morris is the guy who's been coming out of the backfield today, as he has all season long, has been an important receiver in Coach Ron Dickerson's offense. First and goal for the Owls now. They're trailing by 15, 27-12. They want to draw first blood here in the second half, just as they did in the opening half of the ball game. 2 wide receivers left. The backs are offset with the fullback up. There's a give to the fullback. Morse nowhere to go. Boy, did they flood in there with Gelsheiser leading the charge. Just played the fullback, and he got the ball.
To go back to that prior play, though, Brian had the back coming out of the back. That's his man all the way. But when you get down deep in their territory, you're going to go for the interception. You've got to make sure you get it. Because you don't, you miss it, you put your team in a bind.
Second and goal at the 6, a yard lost on the play, as they decided to go with the up-back, but Penn State beat them to the punch on the line of scrimmage.
And they can run that option play, which they hurt Penn State a few times with.
Here he is sliding down. There's the option give to Gaddy, trying to get outside. Oh, superb play by Todd Atkins to prevent him from getting to the corner. And he may have gotten, well, he got very little yardage wherever they spotted.
Well, that's what you have to do. They anticipated that. They were successful. They played it perfectly. Atkins and Miller were there to no gains. That's 3rd and 7. Again, let's see what Penn State does here.
Lost another yard.
Yeah.
3rd and goal at the 7-yard line.
See if they roll out now. They like to get him on the run, because if he gets outside of contain, he can hurt you.
Comes Kersey, split to the left, Baxter to the right. The backs are split in the backfield. Gaddy and Moore straight back to pass. Burris throws over the middle. It's incomplete. Good play that time by Tony Pittman, as he got to the receiver just as the ball.
Well, yeah, the ball's up in the air. Once it's up in the air, it's a free ball. That was a fine play by Pittman. Now, are they going to go for a field goal here?
Yeah. Looks like they are, just as they did in the first half. Penn State's defense stiffened on both the first 2 possessions of Temple in the first half. They settled for a field goal. They stiffen here in the start of the second half, and once again, they will go for the field goal.
Got to be careful. Always got to be on alert for a fake.
Richard Maston is the kicker. The punter is the holder. John Shea puts it down. Kick is up. It is good. And with the score, Penn State 27, Temple 15. Let's take a timeout. This is the Penn State Sports Network. Richard Masson will be kicking to Kim Herring and Mike Archie. The last time he kicked a line drive, this time he lets it fly. And I mean fly. Taken in the end zone by Herring, and he has to down it there. It was about 6 yards deep. The 2 deep men were playing a little tight that time.
Well, he caught the wind. See, the wind is a strong wind, and it's swirling, and you get it up there and it's blowing just the right way. That's what happened. It grabbed the ball and really got it deep.
Let's see if Penn State can get a drive going here without a penalty. That's been hurting them all day. It'll be Mike Archie, John Whitman in the backfield for Penn State. Kyle Brady is the tight end. The wide receivers are Freddie Scott and Bobby Ingram. Terry Collins, of course, the quarterback, and has him in a pro eye. Nothing unconventional. Pitch to Archie, coming to the left. He's at the 20, the 25, still on his feet, and has what might be a first down at the 30-yard line before Lance Johnstone, the weak side linebacker, makes the stop.
That's a nice run. Now, Penn State runs that well, and Archie really, that's the type of play he does well in. He's a slasher, and this type of weather, it's a good feel for him. It's raining. You want to slash. You want to get what you can get, 5, 6, 4, 5, 7, and he should do well, but they must hang on to the football.
In this case, 10. First and 10 at the 30-yard line, and a nasty day here at Franklin Field. Long count by Kerry Collins. He has the back split this time, and he's going to look in a pass complete over the middle on a slant pattern to Bobby Ingram with the 43-yard line. Boy, did he fire that ball.
Well, he saw green. Number 4 was faking a blitz, but then came on a blitz, checked it off, a reverse pivot, throwback, hit Bobby Ingram on a slant. That time he made a great catch. The one before that, he muffed an easy one.
Cornerback Robert McWilliams has had a rough afternoon trying to keep track of the wide receivers. Penn State in a pro eye this time with a first down at the 42-yard line. Collins back to pass again. He's got a man deep going downfield. It's Ingram. He's at the 20 and makes the catch, and an interference call at the 8-yard line. What a catch by Ingram!
Well, it was both ways. It was a great throw, Fran. With this weather condition, that was a fabulous throw. Kerry Collins is putting an exhibition on of long ball throwing. And that was a great catch, but there was interference also. So, naturally, Penn State takes the ball.
Robert McWilliams is having himself a tough afternoon.
Well, it's the defense they're playing, though. They got the strong safety. They're playing one-on-one, and you got to take that, you know. So they make you look bad, then you can come back and get long passes and some for touchdowns, some to put you in scoring position, and Penn State's in scoring position.
Ball is spotted. If I can get those yellow lines out of my way here.
You know,
inside the 5-yard line at the 4. First and goal.
If they keep playing this defense, Kerry Collins will throw for over 500 yards today. He's pretty close to it right now.
That was a 57-yard. Is that it, Jeff? 51-yard bomber. Full house backfield. Jason Slode is in motion. To give us to Milne. Milne the left side. He barrels into the touch. End zone for a touchdown.
That is a Penn State offensive surge. They blew Temple back 5 yards, easy touchdown. And now, you know, outside of the penalties, you cannot fault the offense.
Oh,
the defense is a little sloppy.
Jeff Harding's leading the way that time to a 255-pound fullback in the person of Brian Milne. Fort LaBeouf High School in Waterford, Pennsylvania.
And he's running more definitively. Do you see him going there? You know, he's not feeling his way like he did because he hadn't played that much early on, but he's really blasting in there right now.
We are really experiencing a rainstorm. And up with the extra point and through. The kick by Brett Conway makes the score. Penn State 34, Temple 15. We'll have more after this timeout for your local station. This is the Penn State Sports Network.
Temple Sports Radio Network thanks and asks you to visit the following local Penn Jersey Subaru dealers, including Don Rose's Subaru in Malachitwood, Pennsylvania, Dusty Subaru in Northeast Philadelphia, Northeast Subaru in Easterville, Pennsylvania, Rafferty Subaru located in Newtown Square, Pennsylvania, and Wilkie Subaru located in Philadelphia. Get on the run on pregame reception for horseback with Plus Trip, South Valley, and much more. The Temple University's Athletic Tourism Group. Join the Temple University Owl Club. For information, call the Owl Club office at 204-CLUB. That's 215-204-CL-TV. 20. Fred Conway will kick off for Penn State. Key for the Owls, number 1, Jeff Frederick. He's joined by 45.
Kerry Collins now 12 for 19 for 288 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Bobby Ingram, the leading receiver, with 4 for 138 yards. Here comes Brett Conway kicking to Frederick and Indio, and this is a biggie. Goes down 8 yards deep in the end zone. It'll be down there, and Temple will have a first down at its 20-yard line.
You know, amazingly so. There's only been one turnover, I believe, in the game. That was the interception. Now Temple has to really make sure that they don't lose that football.
It's raining, folks. I'll tell you. It's damp. Getting kind of chilly.
That's why that touchdown for Penn State was important, to get it up before these heavy rains come, because anything can happen. Do you remember when Penn State was a tremendous favorite over Navy?
I certainly do.
George Wilson's first year. They got almost 600 yards on offense, and they lost, I think, 7-6.
Chris Snyder is in at one defensive end. Mazik and Claire are the down linemen. Terry Killens is a linebacker. There's Burth back on the draw play to Gaddy. Gaddy is caught in the backfield by Chris Snyder. Good play by the redshirt freshman. 6'3", 238-pounder wraps him up for a loss.
All he needs is playing time, Snyder. You got to remember, this is his first start. He knifed in there, he took the gap, and he had Gaddy all the way on that. See, that's the same play that they were running successfully. And the Penn State actually, outside of a couple of pass interference here or this here, or Geltizer going for an interception, things like that, they're starting to settle down.
Loss in the play back to 17. It'll be 3rd and 13. The Temple Owls in their own territory. And back to Penn. Oh, play Gaddy again on the draw play. Breaks the tackle. Broke Gilsheiser at the 25, and he gets to the 26.
Well, that's good.
Pretty good run.
Yeah, but that's good play selection. I don't know who's calling the plays for Temple. They came right back with the same play, figuring that Penn State wouldn't expect them to run the same play twice in a row and might have a rush on, and they did, and Temple caught them in. That's good play selection.
Let's see where they'll spot it. The 26-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 4 for the Owls in their own territory, and they're trailing in the ball game 34-15.
And it's a long 4.
They come with Danny Davis now in at the tailback. Sidney Morse is still the fullback, and let's see what the call will be on a 3rd and relatively long 4, as George has said. Straight back to pass goes Burris. It's a screen over the middle. Incomplete. Morse almost pulled that off by reaching behind him one-handed to catch the ball. The ball was thrown behind him.
That's what they call a rocket screen, named after Rocket Ismail. You know, that screen where the flanker comes back to the middle of the formation. Very dangerous play down there.
And Atkins almost got there. George.
Almost got it.
So it's 3rd and 4. Carter is not going to play the rest of the game. We got the information. His right hand is injured. The extent of the injury we don't know. There's the snap to John Shea. Bobby Ingram is back by himself, saying, get away from the ball, everybody, because it's a short kick, takes a Penn State bounce, and will go out of bounds at the 48-yard line.
That's a smart play by
Penn State territory.
He saw where the ball was going to bounce. No point coming up and trying to fair catch a wet ball.
Just a 22-yarder that time for Mr. John Shea. So the Penn State fans we are Penn Stating now, feeling a little more comfortable than they did earlier in the ball game.
And Fran, you said the injury to Carter was his hand.
Yes, sir, that's what I said.
And that, in some ways, that's good news.
Yeah, you're always worried about legs and knees and ankles.
Yeah. Probably got a dislocated thumb or a finger.
Brian Milne and Mike Archie are the running backs. A pitch to Archie in the short side. It's a halfback pass. He's got Freddie Scott downfield. Freddie Scott makes the catch at the 10, the 5. Touchdown! Mike Archie with a 1-for-1 completion.
Well, I'm surprised they threw it, to be honest with you. I thought they might save that baby. But, I mean...
They want to show it, though.
Well, they showed it, all right. That keeps the corner back a little bit so they can't come up and on run support. But he was so far behind. The pass really wasn't that good. It was hanging up there for a couple of seconds like a punt, and he finally got it.
Alan Jackson almost got there, but almost doesn't count. I've seen them run that at practice with Kajana Carter. I've never seen him run it with Mike Archie.
And with a wet ball, boy, is he going to strut tonight?
Yeah, he's probably the leading passer percentage-wise on the team. What do you mean probably? He is 1-for-1.
Well, they've been fooling around a little bit, and they want to put this thing away with the weather as it is, and that's one way of doing it.
They're going for 2. Are the Nittany Lions. The backs are split in the backfield. There's a quick pass into the end zone, and a flag has been thrown before the ball snapped. I don't know whether they ran out of time or not.
Too much time. The official signal.
The play clocks are right on the playing surface just behind the end zone.
Well, excuse me, Fran.
That's all right. They didn't run out of time.
Yeah, they're going to kick it, though, now. They blew the whistle before the play. Sometimes, actually, I was going to make a comment. Sometimes you're better off when you're going for 2 of you, a little bit more away removed.
Yeah.
You got a little territory to work with than right on the 2-yard line, because Penn State's not an option team, and you're usually going to throw for it.
Bill Collins is in, as is Brett Conway, and they're going to go for the extra point kick. This portion of today's Nittany Lion broadcast is brought to you by your local Rite Aid pharmacy. Remember, there's a Rite Aid near you. We'll return after this word as up goes the kick, and it's good. Penn State 41-15, as I said. We'll return after this word on the Penn State Sports Network.
Fran, it's another one of those games. The defense that Temple is playing was a gambling. Coach Dickerson came in here to win the game. He was going to go for the upset and take some chances. You make a team look bad on a couple of plays, and then bingo, they go for 50 yards or 60 yards either for a touchdown or a long gainer. And Penn State continues to score a great deal of amount of points in a few time limit. And here they got 30-41 and probably 2 minutes.
Jeff Frederick, George, takes the kickoff at the 5-yard line, wiggles his way up the middle, loses the ball, and who's got it?
Penn State,
I think Penn State has it, but I'm not sure they're going to give it to him. I'm not sure. Let's see. Well, they'll give it to him if he got it. I shouldn't have put it that way.
Well, you don't know. They might say he hit the ground first, but they're scoring on about an average of 2 points per minute, which was I was trying to say before the kickoff.
Mark Tate shook the ball loose, and it's Temple's ball. I would have bet on it. First and 10 at the 24 or 25-yard line for the Temple Owls. And we are up 41-15 are the Nittany Lions with 6:57 remaining in the third quarter, and Temple now has to play come from behind, and Chris Snyder, Chris Mazik, Eric Clare, Todd Atkins, Billy Cody up on that front line. 4 men on a 3-point stance, 1 and a 2. There's Burris back to pass. Looking. He's buried by Snyder and Atkins. The ball is loose. Picked up by Clare. What is they going to call? Clare says, I'm in. The official says no.
Brent, I tell you, half his body was in. It's on about the 2-inch line, but they put the blitz on. I'm saying, I'm surprised. I'm surprised Clare and Mazik is still in there. But you see what a difference they made. Both of them were in on the quarterback. Fake throw. They're going to screen orbit, and Penn State has the ball. It's getting sloppy out there on about the 2-inch line. And again, the official will not give him a break.
Well, I think it was both those ends, Chris Snyder and Todd Atkins, that converged on the quarterback. He never had a chance.
He never had a chance.
Power set for Penn State. Mike Archie, Todd Whitman in the setback. Brian Milne goes in motion from left to right. The give is to Atkins. Touchdown, Penn State. Hey, now I finally called it. Okay. I saw it.
I think that was John Whitman on that. We haven't seen a Penn State kid leap for a touchdown in a long while. Like the way he went in hard, twisted his body, and so the defender couldn't get his helmet in his chest. But again, now the game is starting to go according to what people had predicted.
John Whitman, the fullback, diving into the end zone for the score, and again, it's a single-point conversion now for Penn State. Bill Collins in to put the ball down. Snap, set, the kick. It's good. And with the score, Penn State 48, Temple 15. There's a break in the action. Now this word from your local station. This is the Penn State Sports Network. Kicking to Jeff Frederick and Tom Indio. Tom Indio, a true freshman. Jeff Frederick, a redshirt freshman. Back in the double receiving position for Temple. Conway hit it in the end zone last time. And he hits a short line drive that's going to be fielded by the up back at the 15. He's at the 20. Starts to the right and is knocked down at the 22-yard line. And the guy who carried the ball and tackled by Tate was Larry Walding, a tight end who was up close. So it's first and 10 at the 23, Temple in its own territory.
Now Coach Dickinson's really got a problem. He's down by quite a bit, and it's raining. So you try to get back in the game because you got a quarter and a half to go, and it's going to be tough for them to move the ball now. Penn State's getting fired up on defense, which we said when we were talking at halftime they probably would come out, with blood in their eyes.
Terry Kellens is playing this outside linebacker in this half. And Kim Herring is in at the safety position. And they're in a pro eye. In motion goes Morse. Sprint out draw to Juan Gaddy, and he was set up by Mazik and really hit by Gelsheiser.
Yeah, they popped him. That's the way Brian finishes people off. Last week he looked like he was a little tired and his knee was bothering him, but he's mad. He's the defensive captain really out there, calling those signals for those guys down in the trenches. And they're starting to hit some people now.
No gain on the play. Second and 10 at the 23. Henry Burris, the quarterback, sends Baxter and Kersey wide to the left. The tight end is right. That's P.J. Cook. And the running backs are Morse and Gaddy. Straight back to pass goes Burris. He's throwing. It's almost intercepted by Pittman. It was intended for Kersey. Overthrown.
Yeah, he threw that way behind him. Almost an interception. But, in all fairness to Burris, the ball's wet.
Yep. Incomplete pass brings up 3rd and 10 at the 23, and this is beginning to look a little bleak for the Temple Owls. They played their hearts out. You have to give them every bit of credit.
Oh, they came ready to play. And this is a very young football team, Fran.
It certainly is. Kersey and Baxter again come wide to the left. Again, P.J. Cook is the tight right end. Sidney Morrison, Juan Gaddy, that's the setback. And Burris is rolling to the left, looking, throwing for Baxter, incomplete, covered underneath by Bill Cody, and on the top side by Clint Holes. Incomplete pass, 4th down.
Good coverage. They rolled out. Now Snyder's starting to play really good football. They try to roll out. He did a reverse pivot, kept him contained, made him throw the football. Penn State gets the ball back in good field position. I still think that Bobby Ingram, when he gets his hands on, is going to break him.
John Shea will do the kicking. A wet ball he'll let loose. Bobby Ingram standing back at between the 40 and 45-yard line, not giving him much admiration. It's a good snap. Penn State almost got it. Now he's going to field this one at the 39. He's at the 40. He comes up the middle and is knocked down on a good tackle by the cover man at the 45-yard line.
Well,
Ralphie Mack made a good tackle.
His old man, Billa, 34, bumped into him also. He was looking for a crack. He wanted to come up the middle and then break it off to the sideline.
Penn State leading 48-15 with 5:20 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Sets up with a new set of downs at the 47-yard line. And Wally Richardson is in the lineup as the quarterback. Stephen Pitts is in at tailback. Brian Milne is the fullback. Phil Collins is the wide receiver right. And in the slot is Freddie Scott. See who the tight left end is. We'll get that next time. Wally Richardson has him set in the backfield. Looks over the defense. Gives to Milne. Milne running wide to the left. Cuts upfield at the 30. He's at the 50. He's at the 45, the 30, the 35, the 20. He's still on his feet at the 10 and down to the 4-yard line.
That's a 255-pound back can run like that. You know, he's an Olympic athlete. We were waiting for the day that he gets it all together. You see the way he kept his head up that time, looking for the cracks, cut back in the open field. But what they're doing with Wally Richardson, they want him to play with the first string. He's been getting in. Whenever he got in prior to this, he would be with the second or third strings, and he wasn't looking that good. Now they want him to work with the first club.
A 49-yard scamper for Brian Milne. As you pointed out, I think both of these fullbacks are beginning to look when they get in the secondary.
Comes with experience.
Full house backfield this time, except Milne breaks off and goes to a wing back left. Stephen Pitts and John Whitman are the other setbacks. The give is to Pitts coming to the right. He's got he lost his footing, and we have a penalty flag. We may have a face mask against Temple, as 96 may have grabbed him on the way by. That was T. Lang Lloyd.
He's calling a holding penalty against Penn State. It's the same fella.
Yep.
I don't think he likes Joe. But,
boy, is it raining.
And as I said, they got the first line in there because you can't really evaluate a quarterback unless he's playing with the good kids.
Good point.
And also, you don't want him to lose his confidence, you know? Sometimes you get in there, you got different guys, a second string, a third string, and somebody misses the assignment, and you get thrown for loss, and you can't look good. Now, Wally's got the first club, and he's in charge now.
The ball is marked back to the 16-yard line, where it'll be first and goal.
This is a throwing situation. I don't care what the score is, and he needs the practice. Let's see what happens.
Actually, it's just inside the 15-yard line as the official was covering the ball with a towel. We didn't know where he was going to put it. I formation in the backfield. Milne and Pitts. Pitts with a handoff straight ahead. Cuts 10. He's at the 5. Reaches to the 5-yard line before he's knocked down by Corey Green, who's done a lot of tackling this afternoon.
A little counter. That's that counter, Penn State's version of the counter Trey. Now, I'll tell you, Temple has played very well up to now. It's starting to get a little sloppy out there. They're starting to do a lot of pushing and shoving and things like that, and because of the score is getting a little out of hand. And that was Johnston, number 54, almost got his team a penalty.
Second down and 5, second down and goal at the 5. Well, now he moves it back to the 6. We're having a little trouble with the spot because he's covering the ball with the towel. We don't know where he's ultimately going to put it. Chris Campbell goes in motion from the slot right. Milne and Pitts in the backfield. Give to Milne. Milne lowers the head and rolls to the 3 before he's knocked down. He spun around that time. Pretty good penetration.
Hey, I tell you, the amount of improvement in this kid since the beginning is unbelievable. That time he ran like an old-fashioned fullback, pulled his way for 3, yards. The other one,
Got it at 4.
yeah, the other run he just made, the long one, got out in the open field, got his head up, made a couple of moves, and almost out-sprinted the defensive back. And he's 255 pounds.
3rd and goal at the 4-yard line. I thought he had gotten to the 3. I got to stop calling it till the ball is put down. Stephen Pitts and Brian Milner split in the backfield this time. Ingram split to the right. We don't think it's Scott on the left. Let's see. Back to pass. Richardson slant to Ingram. Incomplete.
Well, it was a good check off. Could have been a little lower. There was a double coverage. The safety came over. He saw single coverage on Ingram, and he checked to a slant in. Down by the goal line, you got to get that low in the way so another back can't come over and get his hand in. Penn State is not going to kick a field goal. They're going to go for it.
4th and goal at the 4-yard line as Ted McDuffie, the free safety, made the defensive play that time.
You know, they just might run it here like they did last week.
Penn State has set up in a pro eye with Brian Milne and Stephen Pitts. Back to pass goes Richardson. He's rolling to the left. He looks into the end zone, throws way over the head of Kyle Brady. Incomplete pass. Temple will take over at the 4-yard line.
He had Campbell. There was nobody in 10 yards and Campbell. Campbell was shaking his head. These are the things that Wiley's got to learn to do. He's got to look around. He could have run it in also. Bad decision.
So with the score 48-15 and 2:39 remaining in the 3rd quarter, Penn State's leading. Temple will take over at its 4-yard line. And let's pause for station identification. This is the Penn State Sports Network, a division of Paxson Sports. Henry Burris has his team out over the ball, and it's an approach set this time, and there's a give to the tailback Danny Davis, and Davis squirts across the 5 and out to the 10-yard line before he's brought down by Gelsheiser. 5-yard gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 5.
To get back to Richardson, though, Fran, what he's got to do, and the coaches say, see, that play was designed to go to Kyle Brady. And when he's covered, when you see the first receiver covered, you got to look for somebody else, and that comes with experience.
Ball at the 10-yard line. It's a long 4 on 2nd down. 2 wide receivers to the right. The left tight end is flexed. Rolling to the right is Burris. Just got away from the charging lineman and throws incomplete to the right sideline.
Good play by the strong safety, Holes. That's the way to play it. See the way he came in front there, got his hand.
That was a good play.
Right, good play. Burris got outside of contain, had a rush on, but Holes made a great play.
Incomplete pass makes it 3rd down and 4. The ball at the 10-yard line. Temple in its own territory, trailing the ball game 48-15 with under 2 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter with the rain coming down at Franklin Field. Not too many have left, though. I'm kind of surprised. In motion goes the tailback. There's a draw give to Danny Davis. Danny Davis cuts back to the middle, gets the 1st down out across the 15, is down to the 17. We have a flag on the play for a face mask against Penn State. Well, Joe has been upset with the fact that Penn State is also leading the Big Ten in the penalty department.
Yeah, this isn't going to help them either. But again, they got caught with the draw play, and it was a pretty good run by Davis. But again, you got to be keying for that. It's been their best play in the game so far.
We had Raphael Mack in at fullback on that play. So tacked on after the game is a, well, they call it flagrant, I guess. Oh, boy. Out to the 31-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10.
Fran, that's the first flagrant face mask I've seen call in about a year and a half. That means you really wanted to hurt the guy, and you twisted it, and I didn't see that.
Burris is 3 for 9 now passing here in the 2nd half, and he brings him out with a split-back set with Danny Davis and Raphael Mack in the backfield. Straight back to pass goes Burris. Keeps one back in to protect. Throws deep down the side. Intercepted by Herring. No, he's out of bounds. He came down out of bounds.
That was a good call. He was out of bounds.
Herring made a great play, though. He timed it perfectly. Kim Herring in there at free safety.
That ball hung. It was a long pass, or just a fly pattern, and as a free safety, that's his responsibility. He came over there, but he caught it out of bounds.
Randy Kanzader was the intended receiver. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. Temple at its 31. They got out on a 1st down on a good run and then got 15 more.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised they came right back with that draw play again. That's their most effective play.
The draw back, or the back who will run the draw if it's run, is Danny Davis. He's the tailback. They've been going to the tailback on the draw. And Penn State was offsides as they go to Davis. As you suggested, he gets to the 33, but Penn State had got the nose across the neutral zone.
I think it was Yaboa Cody coming on a blitz, and he got in there a little too quick.
Another penalty. The indication is offsides against Penn State. The ball will be marked out to the 36-yard line or thereabouts.
Gelsheiser is chewing out his teammates because, you know, that's, I don't know, I think last year at one game they got 10 penalties, but they were like jumping off sides and stuff like that, 5-yarders. They were up to about 6 or 7 penalties so far in this game.
2nd and 5 at the 36-yard line. Temple moving from right to left, trailing the ball game, 48-15 with 1:07 remaining in the third quarter. Out of the ball comes center Todd Berger. Henry Burris, the quarterback, has the back split behind him, and he drops straight back on the draw. Give to the fullback, Raphael Mack, and Mack is rolled over after a couple of yards. Good play by Todd Atkins.
Atkins, Snyder, Mazik, you know, they really have control there, that running game outside of that draw play once in a while. But you got to remember, Penn State, knowing they're going to pass, is anticipating it. And it's a little easy to run under those conditions.
He lost 2 yards at the 35. It'll be 3rd and 6. Temple on its own territory.
Really coming down now, Fran.
Kanzader and Van Johnson go wide to the right. Raphael Mack and Danny Davis in the I tandem behind Henry Burris, the quarterback. Straight back to pass. Looks immediately to Davis, then throws over the middle. It's a great catch by Van Johnson at the 45-yard line for a first down.
I tell you, he threw that wet ball with a lot of velocity. Good protection.
Pretty good coverage by Pittman and Willie Smith on that one, too.
Well, that quick turnaround. If the guy just turns around and the ball's there, it's pretty tough to stop. He really rifled it in there.
Well, that's the end of the third quarter with the score Penn State 48, Temple 15. And we'll be back with more after this timeout on the Penn State Sports Network. In Penn State territory and trailing the ball game 48-15 as we go to the final 15 minutes here at Franklin Field on a rainy day in Philadelphia. 3 wide receivers this time, although one of them is the tight end that's flexed on the left side. And here's the sprint out draw to Danny Davis. Tries to get to the corner. He does, and he's smacked at the Penn State 48. Atkins gets him from one side and Herring from the other. Pretty good run.
Yeah, but Jones, Willie Smith got caught inside that time. Again, if you're going to come up and attack the ball carrier, you got to keep him to your inside. If he gets outside, he's going to turn upfield on you.
Gaining the play at 6. We'll make it 7. It'll be 2nd and 3 at the Penn State 48-yard line, 47-yard line. Temple in Penn State territory. The 2 wides are to the wide side of the field. Now that's left. There's that draw again to Danny Davis. He will not get outside this time. Atkins, good play, followed up by Willie Smith. Good play.
You see what happens when you get a man that penetrates. He makes the ball carrier go deeper, allowing the pursuit, which was Smith, to make the tackle. But I mean, I'm sure Joe's happy that he's running the ball because, you know, when you run the ball, you take time off the clock. It's a miserable day. I'm sure if Joe Paterno has no desire to get any more points, he'd be settled for this score and, you know, go home and check the movies out and make some corrections and get ready.
Start using the M word. 3rd down and still 3. The ball just outside the 47-yard line. So let's see if they can move the sticks on this 3rd and relatively short yardage. They go to Danny Davis, and he's got room on the left side and gets the first down at the 43-yard line. Gelsheiser had to string it out and go get him.
Very poor play, though. They're taking him with that big tight end, and they're flexing him out about 5 yards.
Yep.
Now, when a linebacker goes out there, there's no outside people. He's got to come back up in the inside once in a while and stop that play. That's better than a block if you're going to go out there and you can't come back and make a play. And the other man, the tackle inside, got caught in too much inside, and they get 5-6 yards on a play.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Temple in Penn State territory. 13-14 left in the game. 48-15. Penn State leads. And back to pass goes Henry Burris. 4-man rush for Penn State. He's got a man wide open in the middle. Van Johnson makes the catch. He's hit by Cole. Clint Holt. Incomplete pass.
Well,
Wow.
I mean, that was a great hit, but do you think he had possession?
I'm not going to say.
He had it. He was on the ground when he popped it right up in the air. But I tell you, Burris is good. Burris is a good quarterback. He's something you can build on for the future. He rifled that one. That was a post pattern, about a 15, 17-yard post pattern. Throwing a wet ball, he fired it to Johnson.
Hamburgers, steaks, and kebabs are an important ingredient to any fullback football tailgating experience. To help plan your perfect tailgating menu, talk to the Beef Council. They know how to make a recipe book. Call and ask for it. 1-800-something-beef. I'm sorry about that. Here goes Ralphiel Mack in motion from fullback. Back to pass is Burris. He wants to throw it incomplete to Kersey, and it was a good play by Brian Miller.
Yeah,
now, let me give you that number. 1-800-718-BEEF. Yes, sir.
Well, that was that turnaround that they've been so successful with. That time Miller played it perfectly. He timed it, climbed the ladder, and knocked the ball down. Penn State's just playing a too-deep type of a zone, and, Temple sees it, reads it, and they're trying to throw those quick patterns in the open areas of the zone.
3rd and 10 at the 42, following the 2 incomplete passes. One of them was jarred loose by Clint Holes, and the second, a good defensive play by Brian Miller in the Penn State secondary. Splits backs in the backfield, Burris back to pass. He's looking, he's going deep for Van Johnson. Deep downfield, he makes the catch. Touchdown. Brian Miller this time beaten and had himself turned around.
Well, we mentioned before that too often the cornerbacks are getting turned around. He got turned around, lost sight of the ball, and Johnson could see. You see what happened? Johnson knew where the ball was. Miller was in good position to go up and get the ball himself, but he didn't know where it was. That's a great teaching play there. To teach your cornerbacks, don't get turned around. You have to know where that ball is.
Great throw by Burris, and Van Johnson made the streak down the sideline and went up and took the ball away from the we used to call that face guarding when they did that.
Well,
with the back to the
but he
ball.
was running side for side with him. He had as much chance to catch the ball, Miller did, or knock it down, as Johnson, but he lost sight of the ball. And as I say, it's a learning experience. You can't get turned around like that.
They're going for 2. Burris looks, lost one for Baxter in the end zone, and please call it, sir. Incomplete. Thank you. Okay, let's take a timeout. This is the Penn State Sports Network. More action on the way after this word on the Penn State Sports Network. All right, we have some finals. Miami beat Rutgers 24-3. West Virginia over Missouri 34-10. Virginia Tech in the fourth quarter leads Syracuse 20-14. Colorado and Texas are still going at it in the fourth quarter. I thought we had 24-21 in the fourth quarter, Colorado leading Texas. And we'll get the kickoff now as Maston kicks a high pop that Herring is going to take at the 15-yard line, because up the near sideline, he's at the 20, he's at the 25, and caught from behind at the 31-yard line. Is down there making the stop was Robert McWilliams.
Nice run by Tim Herring. You know, I'm sure our fans are wondering about, we don't usually make comments about officials, and a lot of people are asking us. They are Big East officials. They are not Big Ten officials.
Michigan leading Iowa 22-14 in the fourth quarter. Nebraska leading Wyoming 42-32. As a matter of fact, they beat Wyoming 42-32, Nebraska. Penn State now first and 10 at its 31-yard line. Carter, a dislocated thumb on his right hand. That's the information we got. Perry Collins' passing stats, we'll get those for you in a moment. Penn State with 2 split backs. The give is to Milne. Milne bumps into people and is spun down as he gets to the 32-yard line. I thought he was going farther downfield. An awfully good play by T. Lang Lloyd and Andrew Brown.
Yeah, Brown made a nice play. He took him one-on-one after he spun out of a tackle. That's the play he broke before when he turned that and went upfield.
Collins was 12 for 19, 286 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. Not a bad half day's
Well, you know,
work.
Joe took him out. As I said, if he kept going like he was, he would have been up over 400.
2nd and 8 at the 33. Penn State now we're leading 48-21 with 12 minutes left. Richardson back to pass, dumps it off to Milne, and he's knocked down after a 3-yard loss at the 30-yard line.
Well, yeah, you know, again, it's going to take time. He has to play a lot more. The tight end Olsummer was open, and Justin Williams up the sideline was open. You know, you can't wait till the guy be wide open.
Alsherman Singleton made the play.
Give him a chance, your receiver, to separate from the defender.
3rd down and 11 at the 30-yard line now. Penn State in its own territory. And here they come in a wing back set with the tailback on the right wing, and the lone setback is Milne. Straight back to pass. Richardson looking, throws complete to Archie at the 35. He's at the 40 and out of bounds across the 40-yard line, and it'll be a first down, I believe. He got the yardage.
Now that's what Richardson can do. You know, he can improvise. That time it's a big rush. They come up the middle. They came with 8 people. He got out of the pocket, and he picked up Archie on the sidelines, and Archie knew where those sticks were. He got the first down.
Ball at the 43-yard line, and Archie made a fingertip catch down around his shins. What sure hands of these Penn State receivers. First and 10. Once again, it's Brian Milne and Mike Archie, the setbacks. Chris Campbell is split to the left, and Wally Richardson is the quarterback. There's a spot pass complete. Nope, he dropped the ball. Phil Collins had a notion about running before he had possession of the ball.
That's going to happen to you a few times till you learn. I mean, even the great ones like Ingram do once in a while. You see yourself out there, you look upfield, there's nobody down there. You think you're going to get a big one, you take your eye off the ball, and you get a 0.
Second and 10 at the 42-yard line. Still raining here at Franklin Field.
Substitute offensive line now. They got a lot of different players in there.
Olsemer, the tight end, shifts from right to left side. The backs are in an eye. In motion goes Chris Campbell from right to left. That's to the wide side of the field. A deep handoff to Archie going to the weak side. He's at the 45 and across the 45 to the 48-yard line before he's knocked down by Andrew Brown.
Well, Mike, that time, you know, he was trying to follow his pulling lineman, and it was too close to him. If he swung out wide, he could have got around and up the sideline. What happened? He ran into his own man, or else he would have had a big play.
Ball is very close to the 50-yard line. It'll be third down and about 3. Ball near midfield. Let's put it at the 49. And Penn State with the third and short yardage now is on hash mark right, which means wide field to the left. There's a straight, no, fake, play action fake. Throw incomplete. Now, he couldn't decide whether to throw it to the short man Milne or the deep man Collins.
And he threw in between them. This is things that he has to learn. Wally needs a lot of work.
Well, it's funny. He looks so good in practice, George, and he just doesn't seem sure of himself.
Well, that's it.
Under game conditions.
He hasn't that much experience, and he doesn't take that many snaps either. But these are the decisions he must learn how to make if he's going to become a good quarterback.
Darrell Kenya will do the punting for Penn State. Jeff Frederick is standing way back on his 10-yard line, giving Darrell a lot of respect. The long snap by Pantal is good. The flopping kick is off the right side of his foot. Takes a Penn State bounce at the 30, across the 25, across the 20, and out of bounds at the 17. Not too shabby. Didn't look good when it started.
It skidded the last 20 yards on a wet turf, but that was a break for Penn State on that.
36-yard punt for Darrell Kenya. Say, stop by your local Subaru dealer today and register to win upcoming Penn State football tickets. No purchase necessary. Check it out. Temple now trailing by 27, 48-21, with just a little over 10 minutes to play in this ball game. Van Johnson and the other wide receiver, Kanzader. Danny Davis is the tailback. Henry Burris remains the quarterback. And a deep give to Davis, and Davis is hit at the 15-yard line by Brandon Noble. Let's see where they spot it. Very little, if any, gain on the play. They have lost about a half a yard. Let's call it second 11, and the ball at the 15.
Yeah, Collins was in on that play, too. Now, we're seeing a lot of substitutions for Penn State.
We have Aaron Collins and Jason Collins and Mark Tate in the secondary. We have Terry Killens also in linebacker. And they're out over the ball with 3 wide receivers and a split set in the backfield, and Burris is straight back to pass. He throws complete to Van Johnson at the 21. He's covered there by Mark Tate. And it'll be third down and 5 or 6.
How's that quick turnaround? They hope that what they do with that, they're hoping to get a one-on-one with the receiver and the defensive back, and that the defensive back will miss the tackle and you get a big play out of it.
Third down and 4. The ball at the 22-yard line. So we have a third down call here. Let's see what the Temple Owls opt to do. They spread them out, and they have Danny Davis in the tailback position. Looks like Ralphie Mack is the fullback. They give to Davis. Davis is going to be stopped short of the first down if they hold him up, and they do.
They went back to the draw play again, which is the most effective play, but not that time.
Brandon Noble once again.
They had him on that one. You know, it's well, you know, both teams have not really done a lot of things. Penn State's been running 3 or 4 plays, and actually the pass plays are very simple. They're just taking advantage of the defense.
Mike Archie is back now in the punt return position, and John Shea is in to kick it away for the Temple Owls. 48-21, Penn State leading with a little better than 8 minutes to play. Good, high, wobbly spiral. Mike Archie looks. The ball almost fooled him. He takes it at the 32. Starts upfield, the 35, the 40, the 45, the 50. He's down the far sideline to the 40 and out of bounds at the Temple 33-yard line. A good return by Archie. He put on a burst of speed. Well, John Shea, the punter, made the play.
He set it up, Fran. You see the way he waited just a second, kind of played possum, got the ball, waited for that crack to open up, and you said put on a burst of speed. He had one man to beat, got to the sidelines. Nice return.
35-yard return.
That's a 35-yard return by Mike Archie. The ball at the 34-yard line in Temple territory. We have a new tight end in there now, and we'll get him for you in just a moment. Or no, he's a wide receiver. That's Joe Juravicius in there, a wide receiver.
That's a big Joe.
Jason Slode and Stephen Pitts are in the backfield. Back to pass. Richardson dumps it off to Pitts. Pitts gets to the 35 and is down at the 34. Sean Carden moves over from the nose guard position to make the stop. No gain, or if any, very little gain on the play.
Well, Holmes, number 74, is substituting for Andre Johnson. He showed it a little too quick. You see, defensive men they try to read that. If you release too quick, they'll go right out with you, and that's what happens. You got to fake it a little bit better.
2nd and 9 at the 33-yard line. Penn State in Temple territory. Juravicius wide right. Justin Williams wide to the opposite side, and Olsemer is the tight end, shifts from left to right. Here comes Justin Williams in motion from right to left. There's a sprint out give to Stephen Pitts. Jukes and dodges his way inside the 40, still on his feet, fumbles the ball. It's loose, and we'll wait to see who covers it.
It looks like
Temple's ball.
Put some pretty good moves on it. That was a great run, and then at the end of it, he let it slip out of his hands. All fairness to anybody out there playing today, it's awfully wet.
Andrew Brown recovered it for the Temple Owls, and it's at the 23-yard line. After a good run by Pitts, he moved away from everything, including the football. So it's first down Temple. 48-21, 27-point lead for Penn State with 6:58 remaining in the ball game. Rain has let up just a little bit, but it's still very bleak. Of course, it's time to get dark. It is 10 minutes to 7. Forgot about that.
A late start.
Henry Burris has him set, and he's back to pass. And Scioli's being held again. Throws deep downfield. Mark Tate there, but the guy makes the catch. Ken Zader makes the catch. I don't know how Mark Tate could play it any better, but he did not prevent the catch.
Well, what they're doing, they're letting the receivers get their back. In other words, the receiver's back is to the defender, and he's got advantage on it going up to get the ball. I mean, that was not a good pass.
Oh, it's bad pass.
The defensive backfield coach should have a field day coaching them the backs. He's got a lot to teach them this week.
1st and 10, the ball at the Penn State 46-yard line. Ken Zader and Van Johnson split to the left. The tight right end is P.J. Cook. And Burris back to pass again, gets a blindside rush, a middle screen to Davis, but it's beautifully diagnosed by Jason Collins, Aaron Collins, and makes the play for a yard loss at the 47.
Jason came on a blitz, and Aaron made the play. That was one bad play. That was the next one. That was a good defensive play.
2nd down and 11. The ball at the 47-yard line.
You know, Tate's limping, number 33. Maybe that has something to do with the fact that he's getting beat a little bit, but...
Back to pass goes Burris. Burris throws on that middle screen on a slant into Van Johnson, gets very little yardage, may have lost another yard. Brandon Noble made a pretty good play, sliding down from the defensive tackle position to catch that guy coming across.
Now, did you see the way he read that? That was that screen is supposed to come over the middle. He saw he got in there, turned, then he flattened out, and the receiver came right to him. He played it very well. You know, some of those passes that the Temple's completed, they're just like heaves when you play touch tackle in the street. Just run down two soldiers and throw the ball up in the air for grabs, but they're making a reception.
Ball inside the 45 at the 43 where it's 3rd and 7. And Temple in another passing situation, throws over in the middle of the tight end, but unless they can't hold on to him, he's going to be short of the first down. Aaron Collins again makes the defensive play for Penn State. The tight end P.J. Cook made the reception.
But again, all defense for the Penn State secondary, they're staying in one coverage. You know, they're not putting a big rush on. So, you know, Temple pretty much knows where they're going to line up.
4th and 1 at the 37. And Penn State, who had a nickel back situation in that time, sends, looks like Dave Thomas back in as a defensive down lineman. On the 4th down and 1 yard to go. Who will they call on? Well, it'll be Danny Davis, or there's the option play to Davis. He gets the first down at the 35 and is forced out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
Well, there were new people in there, but Penn State, again, a very poor defense of that option play. They had nobody on the corner for the pitch man.
Well, I don't think Temple has shown that at all, and I think they've been surprised, although they might have talked about it at halftime.
Well, some of the first string is adjusted to, but some of these kids in there have never seen it, and they got burned on that one.
See, we have down there, we have the first, well, we'll check it. We don't have the first team defensive line. Back to pass goes Henry Burris. He's throwing a deep post to Van Johnson, and incomplete.
But again,
the ball was thrown right. He'd have caught it.
He would have caught it because Tate is limping. Now, if he's hurt, he should come off the field because he's hurting his team. He had no idea where that football was.
He was looking at the face of the receiver.
Yeah, they're taking him out now, I think. Yeah.
Brian Miller comes back in at that cornerback. Gerald Pilardi is the middle linebacker calling the defensive signals for Penn State. And they come out over the ball with the two backs split. Kanzader and Van Johnson, the wide receivers, and back to pass goes Burris, throws over the middle. It's complete as Marlon Forbes lost his footing.
Yeah,
and it was complete to Mark Baxter.
Just a quick post. Forbes fell down. I was just thinking, Ron Dickinson was a great defensive back and a coach of defensive backs, and he's attacking the Penn State secondary.
The ball inside the 20 at the 18.5-yard line. First down for Temple. 3:53 remaining in the game. 48-21 the score. And for the second week in a row, a couple of Big East teams have put some points on the board against the Penn State defenders. Raphael Mack is the fullback. And here's a reverse. Give to the swingman, Mark Baxter. He can't get outside. Brandon Noble, great penetration, and Scioli also.
Scioli played it like a veteran. Now, last week, a couple times, we're not being critical. He gets caught in. He goes for the fake. The play started away from him. Instead of chasing it, like he did a couple of weeks ago, he just stayed there. It was a reverse. It came right back to him, and threw the ball carrier for a 10-yard loss.
Ball spotted at the 28-yard line. It'll be second down and 20 yards to go for the Temple Owls in Penn State territory. Clock ticking away at 3:02 with Penn State leading 48-21. Burris straight back to pass. Four-man rush Penn State. Going deep for Mark Baxter. Pretty good play that time defensively for Marlon Forbes. Incomplete pass.
That's the way you play it. You see him? He's looking up. He was out of one eye. Took a quick gander at the quarterback. And then he come back and he knew where the ball was and got himself his body in good position.
So that stops the clock at 2:47. And Temple will have a 3rd and long, almost 20. The ball at the 28-yard line, and Penn, but there's a flag I just picked up.
This happens, what's happened out there a couple of times today at Penn State second. It happens in the pros. You see it happen too. Many times they underthrow the ball. And if you lose sight of it, that receiver, he can't wait. As soon as you make a little move, he'll come back and get to the ball and make the reception.
Looks like it's against Penn State. That's kind of unusual. No,
it's
holding against Temple.
That was against Temple.
So they refused the penalty, and it's back at the 29. Now, they lost a yard anyway because it was on the 28.
Well, it should be 3rd and 19 now. Let's see what they do.
That's right. All right, let's see what the call will be on this Third and long situation. The clock 2:47, 48-21. Penn State leading by 27. Van Johnson is split to the right. And in the slot is Mark Baxter. Scrambling to the right. The ball is thrown up for grabs, and it's caught at the 5-yard line by Mark Baxter. Unbelievable.
Well, that was a good break for them. The ball was hit up in the air. You teach a defensive back, don't hit it up, hit it down to the ground. And Collins, now he hasn't played that much. He just learned something, and it's a nice reception for Temple. First down, goal to go.
Chuck Penzenik was in there as the nickelback that time for Penn State, and now the defensive lineman Thomas comes back in. Burris back to pass, looks, rifles one in the end zone, almost caught off the hands, but we have a flag on the line of scrimmage, and I think he's counting players again, and who has too many men on the field? I think it's Temple got caught again for 12 men on the field. An illegal substitution.
That's a 10-yard penalty, too.
Yep.
If they call that. Let's see.
Oh, they say ineligible receiver downfield? One hand on the head.
Well, then if it's an ineligible receiver, you lose the down.
Explanation is being given to Henry Burris. That's what he's indicating. And they're going to mark it off.
Sure,
5 yards back to the 10-yard line.
But you lose the down also, Fran, so that's a...
Second down and 10. Burris is having himself a night. 22 for 40 for 323 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's not finished yet. It is first down and 10. It's not a loss. It's when it hits an ineligible receiver, I think that
you're right.
The loss is down, right. They come out with a back split and 3 wide receivers. Back to pass. Slant over the middle, thrown behind Mark Baxter.
Well, Filati made a good play on that. That's a good linebacker drop. He got his hand up there, and I think he deflected that.
Second down and 10. The ball at the 10-yard line. 2:18 left to play. 48-21. Penn State by 27 points, but Temple threatening. As Penn State has been plagued by penalties throughout this ball game, stopping a couple of drives, but to Penn State's everlasting credit, in the first half on several occasions, they were able to overcome the difficulty of a penalty and keep the drive going.
There was only one penalty that prevented them from getting a score. The other 2 they overcame and went in for the touchdown.
Offsets backs in the backfield. Ralphie Mack. There's an option pitch to Danny Davis coming wide. Kim Herring is coming up from the free safety and rolls him down at the 9. Good play by Herring. He closed very quickly.
Well, they strung it out that time. They played that much better. Collins, number 8, played it better, too, from the linebacker spot.
Let's pause for station identification. This is the Penn State Sports Network, a division of Paxson Sports. The clock is moving along at 1:46, 1:45. It'll be third down and 8 yards or 9 yards to go. The ball at the 9-yard line. Temple in Penn State territory. The Nittany Lions trying to keep him out of the end zone. Burris rolling to the left. Now looks back to the right. Puts it up for Baxter, and it's knocked away just in time by Killens. But Baxter almost got one hand on it right on the end line. Incomplete pass, nonetheless.
Yeah, but Terry Killens, he should intercept that. He had that all the way. He just didn't get up and go up for the ball. But Filati made a good play. They had a delayed blitz. Filati's a linebacker. It was a rollout. He waited, and he came in late, and he forced Burris to throw that ball.
4th and goal at the 9. Clock stopped on the incompletion at 1:26, and the score reading Penn State 48, Temple 21. Henry Burris, who's thrown the ball 42 times in this ball game, is probably going to throw it again. He's back. The rush by Killens. He's got him. Throws him down. Fumbles the ball. Nope. They call it the ground. They call it a forward pass. Yes. They call it an incomplete pass. Penn State's ball at the 30-yard line. They said the ground caused the fumble. Right.
Yeah. That was Killens. I said in defense of Penn State, fairness to their defense, they haven't done anything. They let Killens come on a blitz, and he threw him for a loss. That was a good series for them, though, because their secondary was a little shaky there.
28-yard line is where they put the ball, where the ground caused the fumble. Justin Williams is the wide receiver right. Phil Collins is the split end left. The backs are Brian Milne and Ambrose Fletcher. The give is to Fletcher. He goes running to the right across the 35 to the 40-yard line. Let's see where they spot it. It's a first down just across the 40-yard line. Clock stopped at 109 as the chains are moved. No, they didn't stop it. They let it run.
Chris Marzik made a Pete Marzik made a nice block, but Fletcher's got good speed.
He's a good running back. Eric Gallman now in at the flanker left. Here comes the pitch to Fletcher coming to the left. He's into the secondary across the 50-yard line into the Temple 49 for another first down. Ambrose Fletcher is finally knocked down by Marshman. Orrin Marshman.
Brandon, it's a little too late now because the game is winding down, but Richardson has not completed a pass there, I don't think, and I think that Penn State wanted him to get some confidence in making a few completions.
Clock ticking away at 33, 32 seconds. The snap. The give to Jason Slode. The fullback slows into the secondary at the 40, lowers his shoulder, and is knocked down inside the 40 at the 39-yard line. Another first down, I believe, where they'll mark the ball. Clock is stopped at 20 seconds. Mike Williams made the defensive play.
A lot of clean white jerseys in there on that offensive line. They get Henderson, number 69. He's in now. We haven't seen too much of him.
Carl Gray comes in at fullback. Eric Gallman back in a wide receiver, replacing Jason Williams. Jason Slode got one carry, and he handled it pretty well. Clock is going to run down. The game is over. The final score, Penn State 48, Temple 21. More after this word from your local station. This is the Penn State Sports Network.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we remind you to listen to the Temple Owl postgame report on WRTI 90.1 on the FM dial.
Shoot, guys, whatever.
What's Carter's status?
Well, we won't know for sure. He dislocated his thumb, and they've got him over. They're trying to get it back in without operating on it. But they doubt if they can, but they're trying to get it back in. So we won't really know probably until later tonight.
Which hand is it?
I don't know which hand it is. Doesn't make any difference. It doesn't make any difference which hand it is. It's still going to be a problem.
Joe, is this the kind of game that tells you a little bit more about the kind of team you have?
Well, I don't know. I didn't think I think Temple kids played hard and hustled. We obviously we're not playing very well defensively. We better start getting some concerns about that. But we were very sloppy. It was a very sloppy effort on our part. Too many penalties offensively, foolish penalties. Played like we could just do anything we wanted to do, and that's not a very good effort.
Was it a step backwards?
Well, I don't know whether step back or step forward. All I know is that we were sloppy.
Coach, you talked about going for the 4th and 1 with the 30.
I figured we better start find out whether we can do something tough once in a while.
So was this kind of inevitable with the 4 straight wins and the Arc-Lite next week?
I can't. I'm not going to rationalize. We were sloppy. We can't play that way. We play that way down the rest of the season. We'll lose 3-4 games. We can't play like that.
Joe, you're praising Temple, Ron Dickerson, obviously one of your pupils. Is there any gratification for you personally in the way he was coached?
I said, well, yeah, very much so. I told Ron before, I said, boy, you're on the right track now. Just stay with it. I like what, and I think they're doing a really good job. They're sound fundamentally. They're not fancy. They know what they want to do, and they're going to get better and better if they stay healthy. I mean, they're going to need some time to be a really good football team because they're so young. And if people just give them some time, I think Ron's going to do an outstanding job here.
how would you compare this team at 5-0 as compared to the last two at 5-0?
I won't compare them.
So how many of the defensive problems are caused by the juggling on the defensive line?
No, I don't think you could blame it on anybody. I don't think we didn't play a lot of intensity first half. Second half we did a little better. We just not. It's hard for me to put my finger on it till I see the tapes. But we weren't jumping after people, and I don't think you can blame that just on a couple of kids that played. And we may have played better than I think we played. You never know until you see. It's one reason I should be careful how I talk, because you never know until you really get a good look at the tapes how you played. But overall, I just didn't think we missed too many tackles. They broke tackles on us, things like that worry me.
Practice-wise, how do you approach the next 2 weeks?
I'll worry about that tomorrow.
So did you plan to play Claire and Zeke as much as you did, or were they in there out of necessity when you thought you were getting pushed around?
Well, we needed somebody to kind of see if we could get together and